welterweight fight on the line right now. Ashley Hughes versus Jake Tinklin. Hughes was down in the first round, never seemed to recover from that. Joining me in the commentary position tonight, we have boxing royalty Richie Woodall, former WBC super middleweight champion, and Ray Boom Boom Mancini, former WBA world lightweight champion and Hall of Famer. What a great commentary team, and we got a good little fight going on here.
Sixth and final round.
Sixth and final round. Ashley Hughes, Ray seems to have this one in the bag, and it's all now for Jake Tinklin to roll the dice, throw the kitchen sink, whatever you like.
You know, Jake Tinklin, I was looking at him in the corner. I mean, he's got a little mark over the one eye, but other than that, he's got very little marks on him. I don't think Ashley Hughes is hurting him, so why isn't he come up forward throwing punches?
I think as well, Spence, if you've been out the ring for 15 months and you know that, then your opponent, Jake Tinklin, should really be stepping on the gas here. He's just allowed Hughes to control the pace the last couple of rounds.
Richie, he's fighting like he's just happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, it's sort of frustrating to watch, guys, isn't it? Because you go, Tinklin would know that Hughes would have that ring rust, and you pull it on him early and, you know, try and drag him into a dogfight. But Ray just never done that.
No, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't put his foot on the pedal at all. And I don't know why. I don't know why his corner's not telling him to do it. But because you can see he can fight a little bit when he fights, but he's so used to catching punches, taking punches, that he doesn't. He's not. There you go. He blocks punches. He blocked that uppercut, but he's not doing anything. He's not following it up and coming back with anything. I don't know.
Yep, Hughes again here, Richie. Seems to be in control, doesn't he? Switching from orthodox to southpaw. He's been more effective in the orthodox stance. Maybe that's something that he wants to focus on, concentrate on more in the future. But boxing out the southpaw stance has been effective for him as well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he boxes better, I think, as an orthodox boxer. His technique is much better, especially with the way he delivers the backhand, the right hand. But when he's a southpaw, he's probably a little bit more awkward, and that's probably just thrown Jake Tinklin off a little bit. He's been a little bit too far away. But having said that, there's been loads of opportunities for Tinklin to work more on the inside, which he hasn't done. Let's get it right. But yes, if you've been out there ring 15 months, then yeah, there's a bit of ring rust there, and Tinklin should be taking advantage of that, but he hasn't done it.
Well, moving into the last minute now of this sixth and final round, and Hughes, Ray, there's an air of confidence about his work. He's up on his toes and sort of pretty much doing whatever he wants in there.
At the moment he is, yes, but I still don't like that he comes in with his hands down. Why would you take the chance and then, you know, get your hands up? Especially when you get clear, you're coming in. Bang, you know, anything can have you bang heads, whatever. But look, he's feeling confident. He's feeling good. He's just, you know, he's winning the fight. He knows it. But I don't know. I wouldn't lay in there too much. I would just stay on my toes and keep moving.
I think as well, though, Spence, he needed these 6 rounds. I tell you, definitely, Ashley Hughes. There is something about him. He has got a bit of talent, this kid, a bit of flair, but he needed these 6 rounds tonight really badly.
Oh!
Yep, right hand there on the bell from Jake Tinklin, and the right hand maybe a little too late. Great performance from Ashley Hughes, who really dominated that contest from the opening bell. First round knockdown in Hughes' favour, and it went his way from then on in. Good performance there, and let's take a look at some of the work in that final round, and then we see some of the classy work there, Richie. Short little uppercut, went through the middle, and then a little step off to the side. There is stuff to work with Hughes for sure.
Like
when he throws punches.
He's got a bit of flair about him, hasn't he? Throwing shots, different angles. Like Ray says, though, he's just got to tighten up on his guard here and there. But that may have come down to a bit of ring rust as well. He got a little bit tired in that last round. But yes, he's got some lovely touches as Ashley Hughes. And like I say, he needed those 6 rounds. And for Jake Tinklin, well, you know, it's another defeat for him. But there is something there to work on as well, Tinklin. He just needed to work harder tonight, and he didn't quite do that.
Well, referee calls them together, and we get the result.
6 rounds of boxing, we go to your referee Ryan Churchill's scorecard. The scores this contest 60 points to 53 to your winner, Ashley, the real deal.
Yep, good performance there from Ashley Eels, and he gets back to winning ways now, 11-1, and he will be very, very pleased with that. A good confidence build up. Back to the drawing board for Jake Tinklin with another defeat. He's got to get back, work hard. But let's take a look at the knockdown in this first round, and this was a lovely short shot, Richie, down the pipe, and we just maybe didn't see enough of that, you know, moving through, you know, when we went through the rounds. But that was a lovely shot to set things up.
I think he's a natural orthodox boxer because the power seems to be in that backhand, and that was a super shot. The technique was good, the power was there. He keeps switching and trying to be awkward for his opponents, but when he switches, like Ray says, he's a little bit more open, so he's got to work on that. But I liked him better as an orthodox than I did a southpaw, if I'm to be honest.
It was more effective as an orthodox, you said, Richie, and that's when the power punches came from the right side. If Stern's left, he's just winging punches. There's really nothing behind him. He leaves himself wide open.
Yep, Ashley Eels gets back to winning ways. And welcome to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube listeners, viewers. We've got a cracking little show for you this evening. We're in the Chase Leisure Centre here in Cannock, Staffordshire, for some night of championship boxing. And we've got our first title on the line next. Ollie Cooper versus Tom Ramsden, but before that, Brad Williams versus Paul Scaife in a good little contest. That's over 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. Christian Nyall, he goes in against Shane Smith. Then we switch to the women. Stevie Levy, she goes in against Gemma Rueg in a really good little contest over 8 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Then we have Nyall Berry versus Eric Omar Lopez. That's in the super bantamweight division over 6 rounds. Maniz Gurug, he goes in against Joe Underwood Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to go with the next bout of the evening. Next up is a 4-round super welterweight attraction. Making his way to the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Scaife, Paul Scaife. Towns ago, I reached out one night, you were gone. Don't know why you would run, what you're running to or from. All I know is I want to bring you home. So in the rain, falling for a ride on this lonely Kentucky back road. Loved you much too long, I was too strong to let you go, never knowing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent as he makes his way into the arena, fighting out of the red corner, Mr. Nice, Underwood.
Well, here we go. Brad Williams, local lad, who's brought a good crowd with him here this evening. Looking to keep his unbeaten record tonight. Currently 3-0. Should be a decent little contest, this one, Richie. Over 4 rounds, super welterweight division. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's very much a young prospect coming through with Brad Willis, 25, against Paul Scaife from Sheffield, who's a veteran of the sport and had many fights. So yes, it should be a good learning fight for Willis. It's always special as well, because he's a local lad. He's only from 6 or 7 miles up the road. It's down at Dudley. So yeah, it's a good crowd in here tonight.
Scheduled in the Super Welterweight division. Your timekeeper for this bout is Mr. Jason Booth and referee, scoring referee, Chris D. Introducing to you first on my left, tonight he fights out of the blue corner. He entered the ring wearing yellow trimmed with black. He officially weighed in at 10 stone 8 pounds. Tonight, this 59 fight veteran stepped through the ropes for the 60th time as a professional. Joining us from Sheffield in Yorkshire, introducing Paul, the Road Warrior. And his opponent across the ring to my right tonight, he fights out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing black trunks trimmed with blue and silver. He weighed in at a ready 10 stone 4 pounds 12 ounces. He is undefeated thus far in his campaign with a record of 3 fights, 3 wins, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated fighting pride of Dudley, introducing Brad, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the Super Welterweight division. Your referee to give instructions, Chris D.
Say break, stop punching, say one pace back. Set yourselves at all times, touch gloves.
Here we go, Super Welterweight contest. Brad Willits versus Paul Scaife. I'm really looking forward to this one. Willits, the local lad, Richie. And he's brought a good crowd with him here this evening.
Yeah, good crowd. He's 3-0 is Willits, 25 years of age. And he'll be looking to obviously to please this crowd. He's in against a guy who's got the guard nice and tight, isn't he? So it could be difficult to actually pierce that guard. But that's what he's got to do tonight. He's got to get through.
Paul Scaife is one of those guys that sort of travels well, and maybe a journeyman that they would label him, but it's a good development, isn't it, for Willits? Like, these are the guys that he needs to box to further his career, to improve and develop.
Yes, at this point in his career, every fight's a stepping stone. These are the guys that are going to give you, take it to the next level. Paul Scaife, as they said, he's a road warrior. That's where he makes his living.
Yep, he certainly is. And he's come to take the fight too. Willits here. He is the away fighter, Scaife. He's got his hands held nice and high, and it's going to be difficult, Richie, to break that guard. You've got to be a little bit creative with that.
Yeah, most certainly. You see Scaife.
Good body shot. Good
shot to the body there. Yes. from Willits. You can see what Scaife's doing. He's keeping those elbows tucked in, keeping the guard nice and nice. A couple of good shots have got through there.
He got staggered.
Yep, he certainly did. Big right hand went through, and the legs are still not quite there, guys. I tell you what, Willits has sensed that lovely short right hand that went in there.
Now don't get over. Just set it up. Don't get overexcited.
Yeah, another one there. Another chopping right hand from Willits, and again.
I tell you what, the legs are gone here, Richie.
Yeah, he's setting up behind the jab as well, Ray.
Yeah, when he gets to the back of the gym, he's got to learn how to finish. Got to learn how to be a finisher. Bang that body, go from down to up. Touch the body, you know where the head's going to be.
This could be a good stoppage if he gets it, because Scaife's only been stopped 7 times in that 57 defeats that he's had. So he's a fairly tough man, Spence.
Yep, he certainly is. As Ray Mancini said there, he's a road warrior. This guy doesn't get stopped a lot. He's been in with a lot of prospects, and Willits looking for his first stoppage as a professional, 3-0 at the moment, and he may just get it here. Great start to this contest.
Yeah, good start indeed. He's got to keep it going, Willits, using that jab well. Got to maybe switch the attack, Ray, downstairs to the body here and there.
Yes, he's got to stab him to the body. Keep stabbing to the body. Bang that right hand to the body. You know, even if you hit him in the elbow, bang the elbows. He won't keep him that tight.
Ray, we talk about being creative, you know, and creating those openings, those opportunities. How do you do that with a guy, you know, like Paul Scaife, who keeps those hands and those elbows tucked in? How do you create that? Do you have to work the angles? How do you break through the guard?
Bang, you step to the right, bang the right hand to the elbow, bang the right hand to the bicep. Step to the left hook to the elbow, left hook to the bicep. Keep banging him, man. He'll drop.
Well, what a first round there for Brad Willits, the local lad, against Paul Scaife, the guy who's a very durable road warrior, but he got hurt badly there, Richie. If we look at some of the action in that first round, it all started from that right hand, didn't it?
Yeah, short right hand, cracking shot, and it was actually thrown when Scaife was trying to throw a jab himself, so that may be what he's got to do, and wait for Scaife to actually throw a shot, and then try and punch at the same time and beat him to it. He got through with a couple of really good shots, and at one point you thought that Willits may step in and get a stoppage here because Scaife's legs were really unsteady, but he's got through it and he's very experienced. And now let's see how Willits responds to this, because he put a lot of energy into that first round.
Quarters,
I thought.
10 seconds.
Yep, Scaife showed his experience there, Ray, didn't he? Like, you know, he got wobbled, you know, it shook him down to the soles of his boots, but he didn't show, you know, he didn't show any panic.
No,
he kept himself under control.
He knew how to survive. He knew how to tie the guy up. Yeah, that's what helps these young fighters take the next level. Learn how to don't let a guy tie you up.
Well, left hook landed round the back of the ear there. Maybe slightly off balance, but the referee's called it a count.
That was off balance.
He just seemed to be getting hit as he was coming in. He stepped to the side, Willits, and but I tell you what, he's in trouble again here, guys. He's walking like he's on stilts at the moment.
And I'm impressed the fact that Willits is stepping to the side, Just keep stepping to the side. That's all you got to keep doing.
He's stepping to the side and maintaining that gap, Ray, isn't he? So he's giving himself room to punch as the opponent's coming forward.
There you go, right there. Get off the ropes. Get off the ropes. Turn him.
See, that's where Scaife will want to keep him. Keep him on those ropes there. Put his elbow in his face, maybe make his feet come square, make it dirty on the ropes. That's what Scaife will want to do.
Well, Richie, that's probably where he's safest, isn't it? Because like Ray was mentioning earlier on in the show, you know, about fighters not being able to fight now on that inside. And for Scaife, you go, you know, even though he was hurt badly, you go, you're probably safest when you're up close.
Absolutely, and the referee just took a point off him, Ray, there. I think
Scaife is hurt right now. He's wobbling, Richie. See his foot, he can't get his footing. Can't find his footing. He's reaching for the ground.
He's still not recovered, Scaife. He's still not fully recovered.
Yep, legs are still very, very shaky. He's walking forward. He's doing that all on pride at the moment. You know, showing a lot of courage, showing a lot of character. But this is good shot selection here from Brad Willits. He's working the body well and the head. And more importantly, being creative and finding them openings. He's working, you know, those angles, Richie. It's impressive stuff for a kid that's only had 3 contests.
Yeah, he's boxing really well. He's punching into the space, isn't he, and creating space for himself. That's where he doesn't want to be, just above us now on the ropes. Look how square his feet are, so he's got to watch that. But nevertheless, he's managing to maintain a gap against this oncoming opponent. And that's what Scaife's got to do. Now they're in close quarters, and he's got to try those dirty tactics on the inside. That's where he's got to fight the fight up close.
Willits again, every time he lands that right hand, Ray, you know, Scaife is like, you know, his legs are shaking like a
young deer, like legs go sideways. That's what his legs are doing.
Absolutely, and again he's been caught with a shot, so the legs are still very, very unstable.
And I'm gonna tell you, Willits should still learn how to move in and out with the jab. Don't get caught up in a firefight. You know, even if you don't maybe bang heads, you get cut unnecessarily. Just keep.
That's probably what he's got to watch out for now, Ray, isn't it? When he's up close, you know, it's getting a little bit untidy on the inside there. And he's just got to watch that the heads don't clash. He could come out with a cut. But he's boxing really well. Look at that for a double left hook. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head. That was lovely.
Yep, certainly was, and just narrowly missed there with that lovely right uppercut. And if Scaife fell onto that one, there would have been more trouble. But You know what, guys? Yeah, I'm really impressed with this young kid. So first time I've seen him, and shot selection is really good. Let's take a look at some of the action in that second round, and there we see that's the right hand, Richie, that seems to be doing all the damage. He was off balance there, to be fair. The referee was maybe a bit harsh giving him a count. It was on the blind side of the referee, but still a good right hand landed there.
Good right hand, you know. At the end of the day, Scaife keeping the guard very high, but he's just finding the gaps around the glove of Scaife. When he's throwing this right hand, he's just getting it around the glove and onto the chin and onto the side of the face area. And yeah, I'm impressed with him up to now. I think he's boxed really well. How fit is he? That's going to be important, because this kid, Scaife, is going to just keep coming.
He certainly is. And Ray, that was impressive, as Richie pointed out there. You know, we're getting really technical here, but the way he's just slipping that right hand round the guard of his opponent, that's a quality on its own. Because
a lot of young fighters don't know that, how to do that. He's doing it very well. I'm very impressed with this young man, really am.
We've got a bit of a problem just above us. One of the lights has gone out in the corner. They've got lights above the corners, and each corner, and one's gone out in the blue corner, and the referee has stopped action because he's not happy with that.
Yep, I'm not sure.
The fighters could see each other.
Yeah,
I know. But, no, you can't make it wait this long. Momentum's gone.
I don't know what they're looking at here. Just maybe a plug socket has come loose. Something's happened, but the lighting over that corner of the ring has gone off, and the referee doesn't seem happy about that.
Come on, you gotta let him start. You gotta let him start fighting. You can't let him wait.
Nothing worse is that when you're in the ring, especially when there's a delay like this, especially when you're winning.
Well, do you know what? For Brad Willits as well, you know, he's having a real good run here, Ray. He's had 2 good rounds there, and he's had his opponent, Paul Scaife, hurt in both those rounds. But Scaife is that guy that's got that experience, and you don't want him to recover. You don't want to get him back in a rhythm.
Exactly. Keep on the defensive. Keep pushing back. I'm telling you. Well, let's just keep banging that body. That's how these old guys, these older fighters, take the gas out of the tank. Banging that body.
There we go.
Hey, here we go.
Now the lights are back on, and the action is back on. Third round of this 4-rounder in the super welterweight division. Brad Willits has had a good first couple of rounds there against the experienced Paul Scaife, who's been hurt in both of those. And that's the shot, Richie. That short right hand round the side. He's placing that so well.
Yeah, super punch. And I think the movement as well is going to be important.
Short punch, real short punches, pop, moving to the side.
But that's the stuff, Ray, you've been calling for, isn't it? You know, you're talking about that short range stuff, and not a lot of fighters know that these days. It seems to have gone from the game, whether that's down to the trainers, the fighters, the styles themselves. But we're seeing a little bit of it here.
Spence, they're nothing heavy. It's nothing heavy, but it opens it up for next to land that big heavy shot. Just open the guy up with that short pop, you know. There it is, right there. Then step to the side, do it again.
And what's impressive here about young Brad Willits, he's scoring with some lovely shots, but then he's not holding his feet. He's doing what Ray said, just stepping off to the side.
Shot, you know that. Not power shot with it.
He's just hitting and he's moving, and he's not exactly moving backwards. He's moving around the opponent, so he's not conceding ground. See, and I think he's boxing sensibly here, and he's winning comfortably. So this up to now is very good and very impressive from Brad Willits.
Yeah, well, you know what Willits is doing so well here is he's creating his own space, and that space is creating the opportunity for him. He knows he's had his opponent hurt. Now he's chose to go on the back foot, and again, the right hand's around the side, and he's in trouble again here, Scaife. He's hurt, and Willits senses that.
Now that's a good move. See how he pushed him off? That's a good for a young fighter. It's a good move. Push him off. Don't let him tie you up. Push him off with the elbow.
Yeah, just
push him off.
Just to gain a little bit of space and then punch through that. That's what he's doing there. He's Willits, but
the referee's looking in. Referee's looking close, as he should, because he's very close to stopping his fight. Because Because Willis is just throwing punches and not getting anything in return.
Yep, and you just wonder what Scaife getting out of this, apart from lasting the distance. That's about it, and showing a lot of character, a lot of bravery in there. He's got the Road Warrior written on his waistband on the back of his shorts there, Richie, and that's exactly what this kid is, because he's been under a lot of heavy punishment.
He has indeed, and that's what will be in the back of his mind now, just to get to the end of the fight. That's his challenge in this contest now. Not to win it, it's just to get to the end of it, I think, for Paul Scaife.
I'm not sure I'd want to meet him in the street, but in the ring, you know,
Ray Boom Boom Mancini, we're not sure we want to meet you on the street, mate. That's for sure.
No, but that's it. Just keep throwing punches. Willis, just keep throwing punches.
Yep, the referee's close to stopping this one. You just sensed, and the right hand landed again. You saw the legs do that dance again there, Richie, and he's under pressure, man. And you wonder, you know, will the corner have that word with him, because he's under a lot of pressure here.
No, Richie, I'm no Spence. If I'm the referee, I come over and say, look, man, you throw your hands, I got to stop the fight.
Yeah.
Either move your hands, I'm stopping it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Brave man Scaife is as hard as nails, but he's just been outboxed here, and there's some lovely work from Willits with the movement as well. And Scaife doesn't look like that he can produce anything significant really to get back into the contest. So the referee's just coming over and had a little word with the corner, but he's happy. And it'll be interesting now whether Willits wants to steal the show here and put the icing on the cake and get the stoppage in this last round.
Well, that's my worry here, because I think that Willis has been dominant from the opening bell, and he's had Scaife in every single round, and you just sense here, Ray, he's going to go for the showstopper. He's going to put his foot on the gas, and they're going to have to take a long look at Willits, Scaife here, sorry.
Yes, I agree. No, here he is. This kid, he's feeling good. Then his punches go, but I like the fact that, again, he's not throwing all power punches. He's opening them, trying to open them up.
Yep.
And sometimes, like we said earlier, you just beat him the easiest way. And this easiest way, hit him with them little pity-pat punches, just as long as I'm tapping him.
Yep, lovely body shot went in there as well. Left hook to the body, Richie, and you just sense that he is slowly, systematically breaking Scaife down here.
Yeah, yes. Cracking shot, lovely shot to the body, and there was a short little right hand to the head that went in afterwards. And look, you can see Scaife is in trouble here again. He's trying to tie Willits up on the inside, trying to buy a few seconds, precious seconds indeed. But it's all Willits, and he's just doing what he wants to do here now. He's just picking his punches very well.
I don't think the referee's going to let it go. I mean, he's just not throwing punches back. You know, if you're not throwing punches back, then you got to stop the fight. Even if he's not that hurt, you got to stop the fight. He's not throwing anything back. Oh, there we go.
Yep, well, it's a rare one, and he landed a rare left hook off the ropes there. But again, you just see the legs just do that little tremble, and I don't like to see that.
I mean, whatever happens here tonight, Paul Scaife has earned his money here, because what a tough guy.
He earned his money, that's for sure.
Yep, you're right there, guys, and I think that we've just found another young prospect in this super welterweight division in Brad Willits, because what I've liked about this, not that he's been so dominant in this contest, but the sort of composure, the maturity that he showed in this performance, moving from side to side. Ray, the shots that you said, you know, with no power, but the consistency, the fluidity around the punches has been impressive.
Yes, I got to tell you, he's a good-looking prospect. Of all the young fighters, he's the one I think's got well, they all got good futures, but I like what I see with him the most right now. I think he showed the most.
I think what's impressed me as well, Spence, tonight is he's had the instinct to move after his punch. He doesn't hold his feet, he moves around the opponent. He's quite intelligent with his movements. I think that's important in a young fighter. So many times you see these days young fighters who want to fight and battle it out, but they hold their feet a little bit too long. And this game's about hitting and not getting hit, remember? And so he's done that well tonight here.
You're right, Richie. You know, some fighters, young fighters especially, you know, when they're boxing in front of their home crowds, they can be guilty of getting too greedy, and that gets them into trouble. You know, that chaos that they have on the inside, and they sit in the pocket for too long, and gives their opponent, the experienced guy, that opportunity. But he's not been guilty of that tonight. That's what I've really been impressed with Brad Willits. He's sort of known when to move, when not to get too greedy, not to sit in the pocket, and he's picked the shots well.
Scaife was the perfect opponent. He came in and did what he was supposed to, give this guy rounds, make it tough for him, which he did. So, well deserved, earned his money.
Yep, he certainly has earned his money. You just suspect that Paul Scaife has another loss on his record, but he did hear the final bell. That is a moral victory, because I'm sure Richie will probably see him in the ring next week or the week after.
Exactly, he's that type of opponent, isn't he? You need these type of boxers in the game. They're boxing week in, week out, and like I say, it was a challenge to him to get to the end of the contest. He was totally outboxed, but let's give him a lot of credit, because Scaife's played his role here tonight. He's brought a young fighter through, give him a lot of experience. And remember, Will, he's only having his 4th fight, and Paul Scaife's having his 60th contest, so he's done really well to box the man with that experience.
And here's some of the action through that 4-round contest, some of the good work from young Brad Willits. He's 25 years of age, and we suspect if he keeps learning, keeps grafting and doing that work in the gym, he could have a bright future, as the referee calls them together to get this final result.
After 4 rounds of action, we go to your referee, Christine's scorecard, who scores this contest 40 points to 34. To your winner, he is still undefeated, the fighting pride of Dudley, Mr.
Yeah, as expected, Brad Willits comes away with his 4th victory. Still yet to get one inside the distance, but you would suspect, Ray, as those rounds pick up over the 6, 8, 10 rounds, his sort of style would sort of wear fighters down, break fighters down, and steal their souls. So those knockouts will come.
No, they will. They're right. No, and he's going to get developed some power. He's a good-looking prospect. I really like this young fighter.
Yep, brilliant performance there.
And I like to see him fight a lot more. Don't wait too long. Bring him back as soon as you can. Give him a couple weeks, maybe a week to relax. Bring him right back.
Yep, activity is key, and staying active. And let's hope we see young Brad Willits in the ring again soon. But next up, here at the Chase Leisure Centre in Cannock, Staffordshire, we've got Ollie Cooper versus Tom Ramsden, and that is for the Midlands area super middleweight title. Cooper is the champion. He won that title back in November 2024. He put on a good performance in knocking out Liam O'Hare, and he gets a chance to defend his title against the durable, tough Tom Ramsden here in his hometown. Really looking forward to that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Cannock Chase Leisure Centre here in Cannock. We are live on talkSPORT Boxing for an evening of professional championship boxing. This is all brought to you courtesy of Scott Murray of Excelsior Promotions in association with John Pegg. It is now time for the first featured title contest of this evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the Super Middleweight Midlands Area Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly we welcome the challenger as he makes his way to the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Tom the Test Ramsden.
Well, here we go. Tom Ramsden knows he's up against it tonight, 35 years of age. Big opportunity here to box for the Midlands area super middleweight title. He is coming off a win against Ed Hodderine. That was back in June. That would have given him the confidence going into this contest, because maybe a last chance for him here at this age to pick up this title.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the champion as he makes his entrance to the arena. Here is the undefeated super middleweight Midlands area champion, Ollie Cooper.
Ollie Cooper, local lad tickets here this evening. A great turnout in the Chase Leisure Centre here in Cannock, Staffordshire. And Ollie Cooper, as I said, won this title back in November 2024 with a good win over Liam O'Hare. That was a KO in 6 rounds. He's never actually been past 6 rounds. And he may have to go past 6 rounds tonight to keep hold of this title. Just a little delay, waiting for him there. Is he keeping Tom Ramsden waiting in the ring? Richie, is it mind games?
Maybe, but as a champion, you've got to expect this type of thing. As a challenger, if you're waiting for the champion to come into the ring, you know, that's just parcel of it. Remember, Ramsden, he's never been stopped in 28 contests. So Ollie Cooper, as he says, never been past the 6 rounds. So he may have to pace himself here tonight, because this could be a difficult challenge for his title. First defence of that title. But I like Ollie Cooper. He's a southpaw. He's very well schooled. He's a local lad. Lots of fans behind him here in Cannock. And yeah, I do like his style. So this should be a good contest. And Ramsden, remember, he's tough. So let's see how it goes.
Well, here he is, making his way to the ring now. He's kept Tom Ramsden waiting in that ring. But finally, he gets there, all 6'4" of him. And as Richie Woodall said, southpaw, good prospect, undefeated in 11. Can he make it 12-0?
I think as well, Spence, when you have the height and reach, you know, over your opponent and you're 6'4" southpaw, you know, you hold that centre of the ring, you can be a really difficult opponent to get to if you're well schooled and well schooled, which he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the first featured title fight of this evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the super middleweight Midlands Area Championship. This bout sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your steward in charge, Matt Harris. Area representatives, Kenny Basford and Tony Hedges. When the bell rings, your timekeeper for this bout, Jason Booth. And your referee in charge of this contest, scoring referee, Chris D. Alright fans, here we go, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the Super Middleweight Midlands Area Championship. Introducing to you first tonight's challenger, he fights out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing black trunks with gold colour trim. And weighing in officially at 11 stone, 13 pounds. Tonight, he competes for the 29th time as a professional, joining us from Grimsby in Lincolnshire, introducing tonight's challenger, Tom the Test Ramsden. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner. He entered the ring wearing multicoloured trunks, officially weighing in at a ready 11 stone, 13 pound, 3 ounces. He is undefeated so far in his campaign with a record of 11 fights, 11 wins, no losses, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the fighting pride of right here in Cannock, introducing the reigning, defending, undefeated super middleweight Midlands Area Champion, Ollie Cooper. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the super middleweight Midlands Area Championship. Your referee, Chris Dean, to give instruction.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. You want to see a good, clean fight. You say break, you stop punching, take 1 pace back. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, there's referee with the final instructions. And here we go in this super middleweight contest for the Midlands Area title. Over 10 rounds. Ollie Cooper takes center of the ring, boxing out of that southpaw style. Considerable height and reach advantage. And Ramsden is going to have to do some figuring out to get inside of that, Ray.
Well, one thing I said it over and over, and you'll hear me say it tonight many times. When you let a southpaw come forward, you're in for a long night. You got to back a southpaw up. You have to push him back. So this, so right away, Tom Ramsden moving on, he's moving around. I get it. You're trying to get acclimated to the ring, but you got to come forward, and you better make up your mind to do it real quick.
Yeah, it's always a difficult task, Rich, isn't it, when you're boxing a southpaw with the height and reach advantage, and he takes that centre ring. It's about you being, adaptable, you trying to, close the gap, get on the inside and break that style down. You can't allow someone like Ollie Cooper to get into any sort of rhythm.
Ollie Cooper's got the height and reach advantage, and if you let him use those advantages and control the pace especially, then it's going to be a really long night, as Raya says. Ramsden's got to try and find a way inside. One of his problems of being in the build-up, he probably won't have even sparred anyone the size of Ollie Cooper as a southpaw. So 6-foot southpaw at this weight is extremely difficult. They're difficult to find, aren't they? So he's probably had that problem anyway. You can see that already he's probably trying to work his man out, judgment of distance a little bit too far away. And he's realising as soon as he comes a little bit close to try and land a shot like that, he's getting caught. So his feet have got to be quicker, and it's got to be about aggression here. And get up Charlie Cooper and double up the attacks and push him back.
One of the things Ollie's doing is he's setting traps with Tom Ramsden. And he's going to go back in a couple of rounds and see if them traps caught.
Yep, lovely jab there from Cooper as well. He's found the range very, very well, and to sort of build on what Richie was saying there about Ramsden, yeah, it's all about him getting his foot on the outside here of Ollie Cooper, who's the southpaw, and then feinting with that lead left hand, but leading off with the right hand and coming over the top with the left hook, because that's the best shot against the southpaw. You lead off with your own jab, the southpaw comes on the outside with that right hook. Can always be, you're setting traps for yourself, but Ray, I think against the southpaw, you lead with the right hand, come with that left hook over the top, and that gives you that range.
Well, I always say, yeah, if you throw the jab, touch him with the jab, then you got to be able to touch him, then you throw the jab, right hand. If you don't touch with the jab, because as we said earlier, the left hook really the most effective punch. But once you touch it with the jab, follow with the right hand. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
And I like to dig that right hand straight down to the belly. Straight down to the belly, because you're right there, then you dig the left hook over the top.
Well, Ollie Cooper just thrown the shot that could end the contest, the left uppercut. He caught Ramsden as he was coming forward. It just literally grazed the target, but it was thrown with so much speed. And I think if that connects, then Ramsden's going to be in trouble. That left uppercut from Cooper.
Now, I remember, what you were doing the fights, when he made his debut at Excelsior for Scott Murray's Excelsior Promotions at the
sports bar.
Sports bar, right. Yeah. Premier Suite
Sports Bar, yeah.
So that's where I remember him making his debut. And he brought a lot of fans then. If he can continue to win with the fans he brings, this kid's going to be a draw, and he's going to be somebody that they're going to want to put on American television.
Yep, Richie, and that was that uppercut we just saw in slow motion there in the action, in the replays. And what a lovely shot, dangerous shot that was. That just skimmed the whiskers, didn't it? But you go, is that the shot, is that the blueprint moving forward here? But in that opening round, there was a solid, composed look about Ollie Cooper, like he was just stalking his prey. And then towards the end of the round, he found the range with a jab. Can he build on that now?
That's what he's got to do. Ollie Cooper, and again, he's literally walks to the centre of the ring as if to say, I live here, you're not going to push me back, and just controls then his opponent's. Because when you hold the centre of the ring, you're literally controlling your opponent's movement. He's on the outside, he's got to do all the work, and straight away he's using his jab very well. Ramsden's got the problem of closing the gap down, and look, another short punch again from Ollie Cooper.
Yep, lovely shot this time. It was a short left uppercut that landed flush. He's found his range. The accuracy is very, very impressive. There's a menacing look around Cooper here tonight, Ray.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Like I said, he hit nice shots, short, sharp. But he does this. The guy come in, you tighten him up. Keep him, push him back, and learn how to fight on the inside. Ollie's a good prospect. Learn how to fight on the inside.
Lovely hook over the top there. Yeah, another tall fighter that comes to mind. You talking about that was Tommy Hearns, who was brilliant at fighting on the inside, those short uppercuts and the hooks to the body.
Absolutely. When you sting the guy, you bring them shots from up and over, like Ollie's doing. But don't just find your range. As you touch him, bang him on the inside. Bang. Learn how to fight on the inside. So important.
Richie, you was a very technical boxer yourself, and it took you right to the top WBC World Super Middleweight Champion former. And you know, them technical attributes, Ollie sort of has them, doesn't he? Those little shuffles in and out, and like, you would recognise that more than most.
Yeah, he's got a lot of natural advantages, hasn't he? He's tall, and he's very tall, and he's got good height and reach advantage. There's that left uppercut again. But like I said, he's just controlling the pace very well indeed, is Ollie Cooper. And at the moment, Ramsden, he's boxing at a pace which is suiting his opponent, so he's got to do something different. He's got to step on the gas. He's got to throw more punches in 3s and 4s and make it uncomfortable for Ollie Cooper, who at the moment is just in second gear for me.
And also, you know, Richard, bring the right hand, bring it to the body. Start again. This is typical. Start from the body up. You ain't gonna hit a talk like that on the chin. Don't try it. Keep banging that body. Touch it with a jab to the body, right hand to the body.
Well, here's one for you guys. We've talked about what Ramsden needs to do to change this around, because at the moment he's boxing the wrong fight on the back foot, and he needs to close that gap and get inside and make it ugly and try and break the rhythm here of Ollie Cooper. But what about Ollie Cooper? What does he need to do to build on this? Like, is it a case of him going through the gears? You know, he's found the range, he's found the shot selection. Do we need to see now that he's got more arsenal, he's got more in the locker?
Yes, he's got to pick up turn to the next gear also. Throw more punches.
What I think he's got to do as well, Ray, is he's got to make sure he doesn't go back in the straight line, back to the rope.
Right.
He's got to keep moving around him, so he's holding that centre of the ring. If he does that, then he's going to be difficult to get to. He'll be more vulnerable up on the ropes because he's tall and he'll go square. But he rarely goes to the ropes, does Ollie Cooper, so he's been well schooled.
Yep, and he did come off the line, as you were talking about there, Richie. It was just a couple of steps back, and then he broke that cycle and went off the line and working, you know, on the angles, which is very impressive. And this was impressive stuff here again in this second round. We see the little shots there, that little sway back and the way that he comes back, and that little bit of movement there from Tom Ramsden, that little dance move or whatever he done, that's a sign of frustration. That is.
Yeah, definite sign of frustration. You just can't close the gap with any real effect to get to Ollie Cooper. His feet are probably a little bit too slow. There's no real head movement. He's not timing his right hand and pushing his head to the side and then coming back with the left hook. He's not doing that.
Corners,
like Ray said,
10
he's got
seconds.
to be more aggressive. It's not easy, is it, for him?
Seconds out. Round 3.
Third round of this 10-round contest for the Midlands area super middleweight title. We are here in Chase Leisure Centre, Cannock, Staffordshire, for a night of championship boxing, and this is the first title on the line here. Ollie Cooper is the champion, and we've been impressed so far. First 2 rounds have been very, very impressive. Taking the centre of the ring, working well behind that southpaw jab. Can he build on that now, or can Ramsden do something to change things?
Well, Tom Ramsden's, first of all, we were talking earlier, Richard made a good point. You know, I mean, Ramsden's, we keep saying he's got to push him back and everything, which he does. But Ollie Cooper is this guy to hit. Like tall, rangy, moves very well, moves like a real good feet, in and out. So Ramsden just got to focus on the body. Forget the head. All he wants to throw today because they know he's going to counter. Focus on the body, make it a concentrated body attack. Once you touch the body, you can go there.
He actually got caught with the body shot himself there.
He's too far on the outside.
He's on the outside, and yeah, he's just too far out. He's just allowing Ollie Cooper just to pick him off, and it's really difficult for Ramsden. It's hard to see how he's going to get into this contest if he continues what he's doing. His feet are too slow, and you can see Cooper, he's just working him out more and more, and he's setting him up now for the bigger shots.
defense.
Well, the problem you've got, if you're an orthodox fighter and you've got your lead foot on the inside of the southpaw's lead foot, you're in big trouble because the southpaw keeps coming over the top with that right hook and that straight left hand through the middle, and that's what's happening here with Ollie Cooper. He's controlling things with his feet because his feet are positioned in the right place, and it's now for Ramsden to switch that up, step on the outside and get off with his own shot. Big right hand there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He is in desperate trouble here. The referee's going to give him the chance. Oh, he's called time for the gum shield, and that could be valuable seconds. Yeah. The referee has bought Ramsden here.
And now he's going to the corner, isn't he, to wash it? That is valuable seconds.
I don't know when that happened. My day, it's not, when you got your that goes out, the mouthpiece goes out, you need that.
Yeah. Well, this is bad. They're slow in the corner as well. I mean, the corner are doing a good job. They're saving their fighter, but you've got to feel for Ollie Cooper there as he comes in. Big uppercut again there from Cooper. Oh, Ramsden again in trouble. He's holding and doing everything he can, but he's in big trouble here, Ray.
Yeah, he is. That's what I said. Yeah, he's hurt. He's hurt. All he's got to keep his distance. Don't let him tie you up.
The referee again is being very lenient, poor. Ramsden here, but Cooper just picking his shots. Ramsden, fair play to his head's down, he's just swinging away. But the quality punches are from Ollie Cooper, where he's just picking his punches.
Absolutely.
You know, the quality, the technique is very good indeed. And again, he's just above it. Solid punch there again from Cooper.
The referee will stop the corner, better stop it. Because he's just getting hammered.
Yeah, he's in big trouble here. He's showing, as Richie Woodall said there, he's showing a lot of character, Ramsden. Oh, big left hook again. And the referee doing a good job there. Ray Mancini called that, and he will be frustrated, Tom Ramsden. He may be angry, but trust me, he's been saved to fight another day, and that was a good stoppage.
That was definitely the right decision. He was just caught with a right hook just above us on the ropes. It was a clean punch, and the referee just jumped in straight away. Fair play to the referee, because Ollie Cooper would have only hit him with 2 or 3 more big punches. He's still on his feet, yes, but he's literally nearly unconscious on his feet, to be quite honest here, or the next punch would have been. So that was a good referee decision for me.
Right, let's take a look at some of the replay here. And this is where it all started. You saw him just leaning back, and that right hand through the middle. You saw the gum shield actually fly out there, Richie.
Trying to outbox Ollie Cooper at distance, and then moves away with his head in the air. Watch this. Look at his head. Head's in the air. There he's there. What's that? Bang! And he just gets beautiful with an absolute tremendous left hand. That was a super punch. But here, this is the finish, Ray. Now this was impressive. Watch this for a hook. Clean shot. That's the belting right hook.
Yes, the referee couldn't let it go on there. I mean, the guy was going to get hurt.
Yeah, good.
He got more heart than brains.
I tell you what, there was a good stoppage there, because Tom Ramsden don't get stopped. He's only won 8, lost 18, drawn 2, only 1 KO. But this kid is tough as old boots. And answer me this question, Richie Woodall. Ollie Cooper, 11-0 with 1 KO going into this contest. How does he only got 1 KO after what we witnessed there?
That is a difficult question to answer, because he was punch perfect tonight. And let's just listen to the MC here.
He is still undefeated, and he is still the super middleweight Midlands area champion, Ollie.
Well, Spencer, I know he's training very well. Richie Carter from Wolverhampton. He's a great lad, Richie, and he spends a lot of time with Ollie Cooper. They've obviously worked on his technique and his power. And yes, he really did show it tonight. I thought his left uppercut was good, his straight left hand. And then he brings out the perfect right hook, where he backs Tom Ramsden to the ropes. We've seen another replay here of the straight left hand where he actually put Ramsden down. It's a super shot. Ramsden's actually on the outside, jabbing well, but he moves away with his chin in the air and his hands down, and Ray gets caught with a cracking left hand that put him down. But this is the right hook that's coming up. There, watch this. He comes back. He actually misses the left hand, and then he comes back with the right hook. Peach of a punch, Ray.
No, it was. And Richie, even though Ramsden took the punch, well, that's a little punch that rattled your brain. The referee did the right thing. He kept it from getting hurt, because well, you know, at that point, he wasn't going to win the fight. And he was in a position he could be hurt seriously. So the referee did a good job.
Yeah, great stoppage there and a great victory from Ollie Cooper. Remember the name because I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more from this kid. Midlands area super middleweight champion, only 24 years of age, moves to 12-0. And now we've got another prospect coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to go with your next contest of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the arena first tonight, he fights out of the blue corner. Please welcome Sugar Shane Smith.
It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip the time like it's your birthday. And you know it's your birthday. It's your birthday.
And now please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring, joining us all the way from Budapest in Hungary, the Gypsy Prince, Christian Nyall.
Well, big hopes coming from this young man who's currently 4-0. 3 of those 4 victories have come inside the distance. Yep, he's from Budapest, now living in Brighton, managed by Scott Welch, former great fighter himself. And this kid really does have a great backstory. As a 12-year-old was getting bullied at school, decided to try his hand at football, found that he couldn't play football because he was carrying too much weight, so switched to boxing, fell in love with it, and has never looked back since. European champion as an amateur, won pretty much everything. Very impressive stats. Over 160 fights as an amateur, not losing many of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the next contest of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. When the bell rings, your timekeeper for this bout is Mr. Jason Booth, and your scoring referee in charge of this bout, Ryan Churchill. Introducing to you first on my left. Tonight he fights out of the blue corner. He entered the ring wearing red, trimmed with white and gold. He weighed in officially at 11 stone, 12 pound, 4 ounces. This 19-fight veteran tonight competes for the 20th and final time. Joining us from Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire, introducing Sugar Shane Smith. And his opponent across the ring to my right tonight, he fights out of the red corner. Wearing multicoloured trunks, he weighed in officially at 11 stone, 8 pounds. He is undefeated thus far in his campaign with a record of 4 fights, 4 wins, 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. He joins us tonight from Budapest in Hungary, introducing the undefeated Gypsy Prince, Christian Nyall. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Your referee Ryan Churchill to give instruction.
Okay guys, you both know the rules, so keep it clean. When I say break, you stop boxing, take a step back immediately. Protect yourselves at all times. 6 rounds, touch gloves.
Well, that's it from the referee. Final instructions. Now onto this 4-round super welterweight contest.
For the first round,
Christian Nyall, originally from Budapest, now living in Brighton, goes in against a very tough Shane Smith, who doesn't often come away with a victory, but doesn't often get stopped as well. And I suppose the question here, guys, is, has Nyall got the talent to do that?
Yeah, that is the big question here. Smith is a tough cookie. He's from Tewkesbury, which is not too far from here, actually, Gloucestershire, just down the road. But yeah, he's up against a good kid in Christian Nyall. A lot of the Hungarian boxers, I remember actually boxing for England against Hungary in the mid-80s, and they were always very well schooled. They had the great Laszlo Papp, then three-time Olympic champion, who was their coach, and they were always really well schooled boxers. And I like to hope and to see Hungarian boxers carry on that tradition. So let's see tonight, because I've heard a lot about this Christian Nyall, but I haven't actually seen the Gypsy Prince yet. So let's have a look what we're in for.
Yep, I'm the same as you, and we remember more recently, 1992 actually, Istvan Kovacs.
Yeah.
Coco, what a great fighter he was. He won the gold in the bantamweight division, went on to win WBO World Featherweight Champion as well. He was probably their last really good fighter, Richie, but there's high expectations from this young man, Christian Nyall.
Well, what I see about it right now, I like the fact that, again, he's a new prospect, up-and-coming prospect. He's keeping his composure. He's just very relaxed in there. And that's the key what you want to see out of an up-and-coming prospect.
That's the secret, isn't it,
Yeah.
Ray? Like, you go, like, you know, when you're a hot prospect, you go out there and you can sort of be guilty of over-trying sometimes, trying to over-impress.
That's exactly
But this kid has a nice composed look about him and letting the shots go well there. Richie, a good right hand landed there.
3.
Yeah, one was a little bit late, wasn't it? But nevertheless, the right hand was the cracking shot. Also set up behind that jab.
9.
Oh, he's counting him out.
Well, I've got to say, guys, that was impressive. Yeah, one did land a little bit late there. Richie was a bit naughty, but the shot that done the damage, and I'm sure we're going to see that in the replay in a second, was the right hand landed, thudded on the side of the head there from the normally very durable Shane Smith, and he's in desperate trouble there. You know, he's still feeling the effects of that. But let's take a look at that action there, that stoppage. There we go. There we see the uppercut just misses. That was a nice uppercut that landed. And here we go. This shot here, bam, clubbed him on the side of the head. And that just seemed to take the legs away from him there.
Yeah, it was a good right hand, wasn't it? But there's the jab that sets things up. He misses with the left hand. But here then he just gets some
There's the shot.
Yeah, gets some good leverage in that right hand, doesn't he? One is a little bit late, but it's the right hand that really does the damage.
Yeah. Well, you said earlier at the beginning that he's a guy that doesn't get stopped much. Well,
yeah, he's only been stopped 3 times.
Good prospect. Good prospect. Now, boy.
See, Ray, you know you're fighting, you know your game, and you can tell someone within seconds that, you know, whether they've got that, you know, that ability. And you said there, Nyall, what you liked about him was the composure. He come out, he looked good, he looked cool, looked nice and relaxed, and he's got this sort of good look around him as well. You go, he seems to be the package.
Yeah, he is. Good-looking guy, can punch, got nice boxing ability, but, you know, and has a lot of confidence in himself, as you can see. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a good prospect, somebody to keep an eye out for.
Well, remember the name. Christian Nyall moves to 5-0 with 4 KOs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 58 seconds in the very first round. Your referee in charge, Ryan Churchill, reaches the count of 10. Your winner by way of knockout victory, Christian the Gypsy Prince Nyall.
Another great performance from a very, very good young prospect. Scott Welch told us about him. He's been raving about him for a long, long time. It's the first time I've got the chance to see him, Christian Nyall, and I was very, very impressed. The kid could have a bright future. First round stoppage over the normally very durable Shane Smith. And there we saw it. From another angle is the slow motion. You see the right hand, that was the shot that done the damage. Very, very impressive. This is what we've got left this evening. Next up, Stevie Levy versus Gemma Rueg in an 8-rounder in the super bantamweight division, followed by Nyall Berry, Eric Omar Lopez. And then the main event, the super lightweight vacant Midlands area title, Minaz Gurug versus Joe Underwood Hughes. That's all still to come. Next up, Stevie Levy versus Gemma Rueg.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to go with the next bout of the evening. This bout, a featherweight attraction scheduled for 8 rounds. Please welcome, making her way to the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner, the Rebel, Gemma Rueg.
Gemma Rueg, very well known on the circuit. She's actually 40 years of age now, been around a long, long time, been in with most of them. Husband Danny Rueg in the corner. As always, great little try-up. Is Gemma Rueg, only won 1 of her last 10. That was back in November 2024. Against Charlotte Powell, and she will want to get back to winning ways. She's been in, like I say, with a lot of good fighters, a lot of champions, and always gives them a go. Always super impressive. Like this girl a lot, and I'm sure she's going to put up a great, great contest tonight as well.
Yeah, she's very active, practicing the bench, Gemma Rueg. 40 years of age now, but she's never been stopped. Tough as they come. She's number 7 in the box rankings at Bantam. So, yeah, she's going to give it one last go, isn't she? You know, she's 40 years of age. She feels that she has nothing to lose and everything to gain from now on. So she's going to give it another real go. She's decent, she's tough, and she's always in with a show.
You know what I love about her, Richie, is that, like I said, she's won 1 of her last 10, but she comes to win. You know, when you hear a record like that, Ray, you say, look, they sort of turn up and you think they're just a moral victory is for here in the final bell, but not this girl. No,
a lot of people, like you said, she's a road warrior. She comes to fight. She's always going to give it her best shot. Sometimes she comes up short. You know, but lately you say she's been up short. Most of the time she comes up short, but she's always going to be in the fight. Always going to be in the fight.
She certainly is, and this is someone else that's always in a fight. Stevie Levy, and she's coming into the ring, as always, with her son by her side, and you take a look, both of them doing a dance. Great entertainment, this. She's a real character, this Stevie Levy. Again, tough as they come. Lost her last fight, actually. in Doncaster against Ellie Helliwell. That was on points. She also lost to Ticey Gallagher for the British and Commonwealth titles.
I hope she can fight as good as she does this dancing in the interest.
Oh, she's a great character. She really is. And trust me, Ray, trust me, this girl puts it all on the line. Stylistically with these two, you can expect a barn burner because both girls come to win. But this girl loves the entertainment side of it, the showbiz side of it. Check this out. Well, here she comes, finally making her way to a ring with her arm round her son, as always. Win, lose or draw, this girl puts it all on the line, and I'm expecting no less this evening as she enters the ring looking for a victory against the tough Gemma Rueg. Really looking forward to this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Murray of Excelsior Promotions in association with John Peck proudly present the next featured bout of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Your timekeeper for this bout is Mr. Jason Booth and scoring referee Ryan Churchill. Introducing to you first on my left, tonight she fights out of the blue corner. She enters the ring wearing green trunks trimmed with white and gold, officially weighing in at 8 stone, 11 pound, 3 ounces. This 24-fight veteran tonight steps through the ropes for the 25th time as a professional, joining us all the way from Bournemouth, introducing Gemma, the Rebel. And her opponent to my right tonight, she fights out of the red corner. She enters the ring wearing white, trimmed with black, and weighing in at already 8 stone, 11 pound, 4 ounces. Her professional record she brings to the ring consists of 17 fights, 13 wins, only 4 defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, she joins us tonight from King's Lynn, Norfolk, introducing the former British, Commonwealth and European Super Bantamweight title challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Super Stevie Levy. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled. Your referee in charge to give instructions, Ryan Churchill.
Okay, ladies, you both know the rules, so keep it clean. Watch the heads in close, and when I say break, you stop boxing, take a step back immediately. Protect yourselves at all times. We've got 8 rounds, touch gloves.
Well, there's the final instructions. Now time for the action. As I say, both girls love to have a tear up, and I'm expecting a good one here, Ray.
For the first round, I've never seen these girls fight before, so I'm really looking forward to it. We're talking about how they like their thing, so there we go.
Yep, Stevie Levy already on the front foot. Rueg looking to move around the perimeter of the ring, keep that range, and maybe a good idea, Richie, to do that because that's where she's very effective.
Yeah, Rueg has just opted to go on the outside. A lot of movement to the right, so she's trying to move away from the right hand. But there she just walked onto it, so just change the movement there, just move up to the left and just got caught. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, she seems to be content to work from the outside, plan the attacks, fast feet in, and then get back on the outside again. But yeah, it's action-packed straight away. Yeah. Plenty of shots going in.
Yep, that's exactly what we said it was going to be. Gemma, the Rebel Rueg, always brings it. She's great value, great entertainment, as is Stevie Levy. And both girls will be wanting victory here.
Gemma the Rebel, I like that. you know, she's coming to fight. Like you said, she's been a warrior for years, but she's coming, she's throwing punches. You gotta love that. She's pushing the action.
That's it, lots of shots. I like what both fighters are doing here. They're switching the attack as well. So the odd body shot goes downstairs. That's nice from Levy there with that left hand, but look at Rueg. She's trying to close that gap. That's a lovely right hand downstairs from Rueg there. So yes, they're throwing lots of punches and they're switching the attack, both of them, head to body, body to head.
Well, there's great boxing IQ here from both girls, isn't there? You know, it's not just about these two girls going at it toe-to-toe, centre of the ring, Ray. We're seeing some good boxing here. So there's a lot of thought process around, you know, it's educated work here. Yep, very good first round there. I mean, action swinging one way, then the other. No one really stamping their authority in that opening round. Stevie Levy was having good success, but so was Gemma Rueg, the way she was switching the attacks downstairs as well. Very difficult to split them in that round, Ray.
It was. I gave the round to Rueg only because I think she's a little more active,
Yeah,
she started fast. She started fast, and she kept up the pace.
Yeah, I thought some of the better quality shots were probably from Levy, but I thought the volume, and I just thought that switch of attack with the body shots from Rueg was just got her over the line there. Not a lot in the round at all, but I just thought she just outworked her opponent slightly. So just better work from Rueg for me. Yep,
subjective scoring that first round, what you like, and you know, the referee could have gone one way or the other there. It was a very, very close round. Let's see how we go here. Round 2 of a scheduled 8-rounder in the super bantamweight division. Stevie Levy versus Gemma Rueg. Both girls are all action, and we got that there in the first round.
Now you can see that Stevie Levy's trying to pick up the pace a little bit, pick up the energy.
Yeah, more active with the lead hand straight away.
And you could see that she's got faster hands than Gemma. But Gemma, man, she's a crafty fighter.
But look at the defence there of Rueg. Look, she's keeping that right hand tucked nice and tight on the chin there. She's switching those hooks to the body as well. It's impressive. And what about Levy is that she's feinting with that left hand. She's trying to draw the lead here of Rueg. There's a lot of technical stuff going on in there with these two girls.
Yes, there is, and they're only a couple feet apart. That's a beautiful thing. They're not running around the ring. They're a couple feet apart, and they're challenging each other mentally.
I think sometimes the better quality shots are coming from Levy. I think she's got a lovely jab. But if she admires her work, then Rueg, she comes right back at her. And Rueg seems to prefer that toe-to-toe battle, if you like. She's trying to drag her in there. And she's, look at that for a shot downstairs again. And that's literally because Levy just holding her feet a little bit too long.
That was lovely work there from Levy, though. Short right hand, left hook. That worked well. And you're right, Rueg just sort of like, you know, punching away the rebel. Just got rocks a little bit there with the right hand. This is good work from Levy. She's creating her own space here, just taking half a step back, and Rueg has just switched off. She's getting a bit reckless, and great work here from Levy.
Yeah, Levy's turning her feet, turning around. She's punching as she's turning, and Gemma trying to find her.
The quality of the punching and the shots have been better from Levy in this round. That's a better round for her. That was quality there towards the end, especially.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there, guys. I think that Stevie Levy had a great round. She found her rhythm, she found her range, and she's switching the shots up to body and head, those little feints as well. Ray Mancini called it midway through that round. He said she's controlling the space so well, those little shuffles out, and Rueg just got switched off a little bit there. She got a little bit reckless, and she started trying to chase the shots after she had been nailed. Here's the action there, and you look at the good work from Levy. Nice and composed, just getting off for the shots first, Richie.
And the problem for Rueg there, a lot of the time she wasn't dipping her legs to go downstairs. She was sort of punching down, if you like, with diagonal shots and just leaving her guard open. And fair play to Levy. She found the quality punches there, Ray, I thought.
Yeah, what you said. She's leaving her chin in the air. She's punching to the body, she's punching to the body, but she's leaving her chin in the air.
Here we go, round 3. Stevie Levy in the black and white trunks against Gemma Ruegg, the green shorts with the white tassels. Interesting contest, this one. First round was very close. Second round we give to Levy. All action. What happens here in the third? Good right hand again there from Levy. She's found the range with that shot now and moving off the sides very well, Richie.
Yeah, she's showing a bit of quality here now, is Levy. I think Ruegg is just far more dogmatic, if you like, as she comes forward.
Yes.
And a little bit more plain boxing, basic boxing as she's coming forward. But Levy is just got that bit of better quality in the shots. The faster technique, if you like, and the timing's better. And you can see, Ray, she's got the confidence.
Oh, big right hand again there, Ray, and Ruegg now starting to show the marks under the left eye there, a big swelling coming up, and I think that's from that right hand that's consistently landing.
The one thing about Rebel Ruegg, every time she comes back with something. She don't take a shot and do nothing. She comes back with something, and Stevie Levy, even though she hits it, she's got to be prepared. She's got to move her head. That's one thing I like about Rebel.
I'll tell you what.
She gets hit, she comes back.
Levy is finding a range, you know, with this long, straight right hand. There it is again, look. Occasionally she'll whip it downstairs. It's a straight shot. There's actually a cut on the left cheek of Ruegg, and there's blood on the left cheek, I would say, and the blood is trickling down, but it's below the eye, Spence.
Yeah, it certainly is, but you're right, Richie. I think this is the best I've actually seen Stevie Levy box. She's normally very sort of reckless in her approach, but here she's sort of like, there's a lot of thought process behind it. Lovely shot selection, the 1-2 through the middle again there, and Ruegg, the Rebel, is just getting out boxed here, and that eye just does seem to be worsening, and this is a great round by young Stevie Levy. Ruegg goes back to the corner, blood trickling down that left cheek. Husband Danny Ruegg in the corner there. He's giving the instructions, and this is a tough start to the contest. This for Ruegg. Levy in the form of her life so far. She needed a big win here, and she's on her way to doing that after 3 rounds. That was a good work, and here's some of the action, Richie.
Yeah.
That right hand was key, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely. It was well timed, good technique, just whipping one over the top there. But also she would just slip downstairs with the right hand also. So yeah, it was good work from body to head. Look at that for a jab downstairs. But the right hand especially from Levy was very good indeed. And you've got to give credit to Ruegg, Ray. She just kept coming. She's tough.
Like that. You can't, her heart's bigger than her body. But I like they stay in the pocket. But Stevie Levy, quick shot, step into the side, quick shot, step into the side. Yeah.
But what does the Rebel have to do, Ray? Like, she's got to just keep pushing it, forcing it.
Push it forward, yeah. And hopefully catch Stevie Levy going backwards.
Whoa, big right hand there. Levy just off balance, but the shot did land.
Yeah, it was a good shot. That was fair play to Ruegg. She found a punch
good
there.
Body shots, good body shots.
That's the most impressive thing I think about Ruegg. She throws the lead jab and then switches that hook underneath, and she's got an excellent shot there. But Levy's dangerous with that right hand, and she's catching Ruegg time and time again. We'd just like to see Ruegg maybe moving the head off the line a little bit. Big right hand again there.
Tremendous stuff again from Levy here. I think Ruegg, her feet have slowed down. That's mainly because she's taking body shots like that. There was another one. It slowed the feet down, and now Levy's finding the target with that right hand, time and again. Cracking contest.
Yeah, really is. We thought it was going to be a barn burner, and that's exactly what we've got here. Credit where credit's due to Gemma Ruegg. She has not stopped trying. She shows character in there, man, like forcing forward. She's been taking consistent right hands, but she's still there. She's still trying, Ray.
Oh, no, she's an ultimate warrior, and she's here to win, like you said. And I'm not saying she won't at this point. She's getting Stevie Levy with some good shots. Stevie Levy's hands are faster, her reflexes are sharper, but she's getting hit with some good shots too.
Yeah, the quality of the punching is just a little bit better from Stevie Levy.
Right.
The technique, the speed, the snap in the punch, and the accuracy is there from Levy, whereas with Gemma Ruegg at the moment, they're just a little bit more laboured in the shots, if you like, and Levy can see them coming. But it's a cracking contest, it really is.
Yep, good work from Levy to the body there as well, switching the attacks to the body. That's what I like about these girls, that you actually look at what they're doing, their ring craft, their boxing IQ, and you go, it's impressive stuff, man. They're working well to the head, working well to the body. Let's take a look at some of the action there in round 4. And again, Stevie Levy pushing forward, lovely straight jab through the middle, but Gemma Ruegg always trying to force the pace, but that's been the success story so far in this contest from Stevie Levy. That right hand, Richie, has been landing consistently.
Especially when she throws it at long range, it seems to hone in on the target, and then just look, there's another one there on the replay. Tremendous shot there, good technique, snapping the shot, and occasionally she'll go downstairs also. So yeah, she just had the better of it in there, but fair play to Gemma Ruegg. Kept going, kept trying, Ray, and she was there right to the end at the belt.
And I got to feel she's going to be there till the end, unless the ref, the only one's going to be able to get her out of there is the referee. She's this girl's something.
Here we go, round 5 of an 8-rounder in the super bantamweight division. Stevie Levy, Gemma Ruegg, and they have given us an absolute cracker so far. Stevie Levy winning all the rounds. Well, maybe there's an argument in the first round, but since then she's won the rounds on our scorecard. But Gemma Ruegg, the rebel, what a contest she's putting up as well.
Yeah, she is. Good work from Levy again there with a little feint occasionally. Feints the jab and then whips her right hand through. But again, Gemma Ruegg, tough, hard, keeps coming forward, a little bit flat-footed and taking probably a shot too many at the moment, but nevertheless, the heart of a lion.
Richie, I think that Stevie Levy's probably feeling the power of Gemma and saying, she's slowing down. Yeah. She's staying in the pocket more. She's staying in the pocket more, willing to trade more.
This is a good performance so far from Levy, who's controlling that space so well. And you guys both know that when you've got that distance right, distance creates the timing, timing creates the speed, speed creates the power. It's all like goes together, and if one of them's out, it's like a domino effect. They all fall. Right. But Stevie Levy seems to have nailed it tonight so far.
Well, Stevie Levy just missed the right hand, but she came back with a quick left and caught her. I mean, I like the butt. Both these women are very well schooled in boxing. Very well schooled.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with their.
I'll tell you what though, Spence. Stevie Levy, the way she's punched, she better be fit here, because Ruegg has taken everything, keeps coming, and a question mark then may come on to Stevie Levy whether she, will she burn herself out here? I don't think she will, because she's still got the speed and snapping the punches, but Ruegg just keeps coming. She hasn't taken a backward step in this contest so far.
I told you, man, like, Ruegg, the last victory she got was back in November 2024. She's won 1 of her last 10, and this girl doesn't give up hope, man, and she's far better than her record would suggest. And Richie Woodall's right here, Ray. If Stevie Levy's not in shape, these next 3 rounds are going to be tough, because Gemma Ruegg is going to keep pushing. She is fit as a butcher's dog for sure. She is in shape, this girl.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. She's fighting one way. She's going to continue to fight one way. And you can see that. But I think Stevie Levy, she's controlling the fight now. She's controlling the distance, controlling the pace. If she don't get careless, she should come out victorious.
Yep, she seems to be still relatively fresh. Looking at her in the corner as we wait for the beginning of this 6th round to go.
And one thing we should point out, Spence, Stevie Levy's lost 3 contests over 10 rounds. So let's remember that, because she's got to keep this pace going here.
Yep, that's a great point, Richie. One of those was for the British and Commonwealth, the other one was for a European title, so she's boxed at a good level. But what we do know about the rebel, Gemma Ruegg, is that she has stamina, and she will go until the final bell. She will ask questions of Stevie Levy, who at the moment looks in great shape.
Oh, super body shot there from Levy. Just whipped the right hand downstairs under the left elbow of Gemma Ruegg. But tough as they come, Ruegg.
Boom, 2 right shots to the head by Gemma. Man, this is, whether it's men or women, this is a great boxing match, because both fighters have high boxing IQs. They're doing some good stuff in here, man. Right? I'm really enjoying this fight.
Ray, do you know what? We talk about women's boxing that's sort of relatively, come to its own now. We've got some great women boxers around, and far more women boxers than we ever have done. But the boxing IQ these girls are showing now, you know, they're delivering, aren't they? These girls are delivering. I think the 2-minute rounds work for these girls because
they fight.
Because they fight. That's right.
And I'll tell you right now, women's boxing in America is saving boxing in America. The men's, it's terrible. The women are saving boxing in America.
Well, this is a great advert for women's boxing. It's a great advert for boxing in general, I think. I think both boxers shown a lot of skill, a lot of, as you say, ring IQ. And the skill, the speed, and the thought that's in their boxing, it's great to watch.
Yep. High output, high work rate from both of these girls here, but it's more than that. It's not just like a punch up on the cobbles. This is good boxing, good class boxing. Both girls having success, and good work again there from Levy, switching the attacks. Rueg comes back, as she always does, but good work, the classier work there coming from Stevie Levy. Another great round of boxing.
Super stuff. I just got the sense at the end of that round that Rueg was just slowing up slightly. And that just made Levy's work look a little bit more crisper, sharper. But she took a lot of stickers, Gemma Rueg. Keeps coming. She's very strong indeed. But I just thought that towards the end of that round, her feet were just slowing a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that will favour Levy even more.
Yeah, and Richard, and her punch is starting to drag a little bit.
Yeah.
Punch starting to drag.
Well, 2 rounds to go here, guys, and you suspect that Gemma Rueg, I was going to say he's got to roll the dice and go all in, but she's sort of been doing that anyway, Ray, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. And she's got to. That's the only way she's going to win. But she's not backing down, man. I admire her. She's getting hit with some big shots, but she keeps coming forward.
Yep, tough as they come. The rebel, Gemma Rueg. From down in Bournemouth, my husband, Danny Rueg, used to box when I was boxing, actually. Good little super bantamweight back in the day himself. Family tradition, the son boxes as well. He's a pro. And Gemma Rueg here, although she might not be winning, is putting up one hell of a fight against a very, very good Stevie Levy. One of the best I've seen Stevie, actually. This is a good performance.
Yeah, I think she's prepared well for this, Stevie Levy, because she I think always knew that she was going to be in a real hard battle here. And yeah, I think she has trained very hard for it, because her fitness is holding her out. And Rueg just keeps coming. I'd like to see probably a little bit more head movement from Rueg, trying to avoid the odd right hand here and there. But nevertheless, punch output, you just can't fault Gemma Rueg. But the quality shots now are starting to show again from Stevie Levy. Better punches, thinking about her boxing, picking her shots on the outside, Ray.
Yeah, she is. She's picking her apart from the outside. But again, you know, Jenna is there, man. The Rebel stays in front of her, taking these shots and firing back.
Yep, she's making a real contest, Ray, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. So Stevie cannot take her foot off the pedal.
But you know what? I like the focus of Stevie Levy here. You know, she's stayed switch on. She's controlling the space well. There's a nice fluid movement around her punches, and she's landing with consistency. That is the most important thing here. Rueg is grinding it out, but Levy, the class work is coming from her.
Yeah, she's quality boxing starting to come from Levy now. And what I like also, Spence, is her left hand, the jab. Oh, that's a belting shot. Great right hand from Levy.
The referee's got to watch close down.
Yep, I'll tell you one thing, Gemma Rueg walked back to the corner there and took a big gulp of air. She's feeling this. I've got to respect this girl. I've seen her time in, time out, and she, you know, things are not going in her way. She doesn't lose spirit, doesn't lose heart, and she keeps kicking on. And she is a real character in women's boxing for sure. But look at the good work here, Richie. Yeah. Again from Stevie Levy.
Yeah, very good work on the outside, picking her shots really well with the jab and the straight right hand especially. So she's thinking about her work. Gemma Rueg just keeps coming, and she's losing most of these rounds, but she's trying to win them. That's the basic, what her work is all about, is that will to win, Gemma Rueg. You can't fault it. Keeps coming. She's tough, but she's losing most of these rounds. Just being edged out by the better quality work from Stevie Levy.
For the 8th and final round,
Well, what a cracking contest we've had here in this super bantamweight division. Over 8 rounds, Stevie Levy versus Gemma Rueg. We go into that final round, and if our scorecards are right, myself, Richie Woodall and Ray Mancini, Gemma Rueg needs a knockout to win, and she will go for it, that's for sure.
Sheer grit and determination from Rueg keeps coming forward. But look at these quality punches again from Levy, switching the attack from head to body.
Wow, beautiful work there, and the referee is dancing around, but he has to take a look, because this work from Stevie Levy is first class. The shot selection is absolutely brilliant. Double left hook to the head, switches the right hook to the body. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, good work indeed, and I really want Gemma Rueg to get to the end of the fight here.
I tell you what, Rueg, she ain't got a lot left for it, here, no. Gemma Rueg.
I'm rooting for her to finish. She put on such a great fight, man. I want to see her finish on her feet.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ray. You want to see her finish on her feet, because this girl delivers.
Yes.
Win, lose or draw, this girl comes to fight, and that's what it's all about when you're a paying customer, and we've got plenty of them in here tonight. Yes. They have been entertained.
Oh, yes. No, this might be, right now, this is the fight of the night.
Yeah, this is the fight of the night up to now. No question. Oh, big right hand again from Levy. Super punch.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, that cut now has really worsened on the left cheek there of Gemma Rueg. And I tell you what, that bell can't come soon enough for that young lady, and it's swelling up really badly as well. It's been a tough night, and the punches have lost their snap now from Rueg as well. The 10-second clacker has gone, and it couldn't have come soon enough. Another lovely right hand there from Levy. Wow, what a contest we have there. Stevie Levy and Gemma Rueg take a bow. Fight of the night so far. The crowd in here, Richie, absolutely loved it, as did we.
Yeah, tremendous contest indeed. And to see Ray Boom Mancini take his earphones off and stand and clap, well, that just shows you how well both these boxers fought. That was a tremendous contest, a tremendous advert for women's boxing. It had skill, it had speed, it had the power, Ray. That was tremendous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a great fight, man. And I'm telling you, you see it. Stevie Levy, she's on the upward, climb. Gemma's on a downward, but she fights every fight. She's going out on her shield, and you've got to love that about her, man.
Yeah, tremendous stuff. She tried to win every second of every round,
yeah, she did.
Gemma Rueg.
Yeah, she
That's
did.
her style. Tremendous stuff indeed. We just got a problem with the MC's microphone. I think we got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, we go to your referee, Ryan Churchill's scorecard, who scores this contest 79 points to 73 in favour of your winner, Super Stevie.
Levy, what can I say? What a performance. Fight of the night so far. Gemma Rueck, how tough was she?
Mate, I knew she was tough. She scared the shit out of me, yeah? Fucking, excuse my language. I fought her 8 years ago in white collar, and we had such a hard fight then, like, and it was close. And as soon as she went pro, she called me out, and like, if people know in real life, I'm a bit pussy, I don't like confrontation. I was like, woo! David was like, ignore her, we've got our own path, and obviously we've both gone separate ways, and we finally met again, and had it out over an 8-round pro fight in them little 8-round gloves, and they fucking hurt when you get hit in them, but I think that's the best performance I've ever done. I'm so happy.
Right, well, I'm going to apologise for the language right now, and Stevie's not going to swear anymore. But I want to talk about that performance, because that was more refined than I've ever seen you before. You know, your shot selection, the way you was controlling the space. The guys were saying it there. We've not seen you like that before. Now, I know you teamed up a new team with Jordan and stuff, and the improvements are starting to show.
Yeah, like, everyone knows me as a hard B-A-S-T-A-R-D. I've always had that. You know, I've been training half my life, but I feel like I'm only now getting a boxing brain. Like, I didn't know what feints were till David taught me, and then now I'm with them. I used to think, I want to learn, but I used to just turn up, smash the bag, smash the pads. But every day is a boxing lesson with Jordan and his dad. I get them all to myself, and every boxing we just learn. We drill. Jordan is just the best person. He does my S&C, my nutrition, everything. At some point, I train like a world champion, and I've learned so much. And I've got a boxing brain. Can you believe it? Yeah, I've got a brain. Yeah, I've got a boxing brain. Sorry.
Listen, I tell you what, you're improving in the ring, that's for sure. But there's another thing that's improving as well, and I want to bring your son in on this one. And that's the dancing at the beginning of when you're coming into the ring. How much are you enjoying that?
A lot. It's like really fun to do it with my mum. She taught me it. I think, like, she said to do this dance, and I think it was better than last time.
Well, I topped the last one, 'cause that was so good, wasn't it? All your friends at home are watching, ain't they? Like, from school, your teachers, their memories forever. We've got pictures all over our house, haven't we? And we were like, we done that, mate. We done that.
Yeah, well, you've certainly been working on your dance moves, haven't you?
Yeah.
What did you think of Mum's performance?
Really good. I think that's the best one she's ever done.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's the best I've seen you box now. You box for the British, you box for the Commonwealth, you box for the European. You was unsuccessful in them. Do we finally see Stevie Levy going to pick those titles up?
Oh, I would love to, honestly. The Ellie Helliwell prize was so fight. Personally, I think I just nicked it. Couldn't have argued a draw, and obviously it went her way, but everything happens for a reason. I was meant to fight Jess Barry for the WBC silver. She got injured. I'm hoping that's next. We're hoping. I don't know if she's here tonight, but that's the fight I want next. Jess Barry, another come forward orthodox, fucking hard motherfucker, sorry. You know, like Gemma, we just had a proper fight. None of that run away on the back foot dancing about. People don't want to watch that. We want to have a proper fight. Do you know what I mean? So I respect Tyson, I respect Ellie, but you know, when them two fight, it's going to be a bit like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want to tear up, didn't you?
Listen, you loved it. We loved it. The boys in the commentary position loved it as well. Well done tonight. Tonight is yours, and we look forward to seeing you back in title contention.
Thank you. I was buzzing to see you again, Spencer. I love you.
Yeah, lovely. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
His last name's Morgan. Is it?
Yeah.
Morgan. Cool, wasn't it?
That was Gemma's husband in the corner, yeah. No, just a trainer. Yeah. That's one of her.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for the next feature bout of the evening. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the featherweight division. Making his way to the ring first, joining us all the way from Guadalajara, Jalisco, and Mexico. Please welcome Habanarito Eric Omar Lopez.
Nyall Berry.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, non-stop, Nyall Berry.
Well, this kid is very, very impressive. Out of his 15 contests, he's won 14 of them. 6 have come inside the distance. Only one loss, that was back in June 2024. I was there that night, got stopped in 8 rounds against Francesco De Rosa. It was a tough night, tough fight, but he's learned from that, he's bounced back. He's had 4 wins since then. He's picked up the English title, and he says he's ready to move on to bigger and better things. British, Commonwealth, European, and eventually world honours. And guys, Ray, I'll bring you in here. Sometimes a loss can be a moulding of a fighter, and I think that may have been it for Nyall Berry, who is a quality act.
Well, I've said now from the beginning of his career. I think that back then I said he was my favorite fighter, new fighter from the UK. I just love this guy. You know, like you said, one loss, that's not. You learn more from your losses than you do from your victories. That one loss, it might have been the right thing at the right time, but I'm sure he's got to be fighting for a world title soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all set to go with that bout of the evening. Scott Murray of Excelsior Promotions in association with John Pegg proudly presents 6 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest, scoring referee Ryan Churchill, and when the bell rings, your timekeeper for this bout, Martin Fallon. Introducing to you first on my left. Tonight he fights out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing silver trimmed with white. He weighed in officially at 8 stone, 13 pounds, 10 ounces. Tonight he competes for the 52nd time as a professional. Damas y caballeros, tenemos el luchador de esta ciudad natal, Guadalajara, Jalisco, originete de Chihuahua en Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Eric Omar Habanadito Lopez. And his opponent across the ring to my right tonight, he fights out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing gold trimmed with orange and black and weighed in at already 9 stone, 2 ounces. His professional record, an excellent one. 15 fights, 14 wins with only 1 defeat, with 6 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the fighting pride of Underwood, Birmingham, and the reigning super bantamweight English champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here is non-stop Nyall Berry. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the featherweight division. Your referee Ryan Churchill to give instruction.
Okay, lads, you both know the rules, so keep it clean. When I say break, you stop boxing and take a step back immediately. Protect yourselves at all times. Got 6 rounds, touch gloves.
Referee's final instructions, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to this one. Nyall Berry, one of my favourite fighters, and Eric Omar Lopez, we know is as tough as they come. Richie, I'm expecting good things here.
Yeah, I mean, Omar Lopez, you know, he's tough. He's only been stopped once. Berry, though, has got the skills. Really impressed with him when I've seen him at the Premier Suite in Cannock at the sports bar. Yeah, he's a good kid. Remember, he's ranked number 3 in the UK at the moment, and it's a thriving division. Shabazz Massoud is top of the tree. Peter McGrail is number 2, and then you got Nyall Berry. So quality there. He's in against a tough guy here in Omar Lopez, so let's see how he goes about. If he can get a stoppage here against a guy who doesn't get stopped, only been stopped once, that would be a performance indeed tonight.
Yep, certainly would. And I'll tell you, Ray, Lopez is letting his hands go early here. He looks dangerous enough for sure.
Well, when you go in someone's backyard, you want to come out and you want to set. I'm the boss in this ring. This is my ring, you know, and that's what he's trying to do. But now he's keeping his composure. He's staying nice and loose, catching the punches. But you can't be careless because this guy, you know, he's winging them punches, and if you get caught, you're gonna go down.
Yep, he winged in another right hand there, Lopez. And Berry has to say switched on here. He can't take any unnecessary chances. He switches the attacks to the body.
Just remember a few times that Nyall has a fighter that's smaller than him. Shorter, I don't mean shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not something that I come across very often when I was boxing, and I'm sure Nyall Berry hasn't as well. But Eric Lopez uses that lack of height to his advantage, though, because he bends down, Ray, and really wings those shots over.
Yes. You use that leverage, right?
Nice left hook there from to the body. I'll tell you what he's got to watch out for here, though, Berry. He's the left hook from Lopez. When they're in those close situations like that, he's looking for that left hook, Lopez. And I think he's dangerous, isn't he, early on in the contest?
And Richie, I'm sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say one other thing. He throws out, wings that right hand over the top. He hits you on top of the head.
Yeah.
That messes up your equilibrium. So he's got to watch because he's winging that right hand over the top, but he's caught him 2 or 3 times already on the center of the head.
I think he's a boxer, Spence, where you cannot get complacent against him. You've got to do everything correctly and don't take any chances and keep that guard up, because he's going to come back with something. In these situations, look, he'll always come back with a punch. What's this for left hook coming up?
Yeah,
there he is there. You can see it coming a mile away.
He's dangerous though, Richie, isn't he? Because like I say, he uses that lack of height to his advantage, and as Ray pointed out, he really whips those shots in, and he loops that right hand over like he's bowling a cricket ball. And if that hits you on the top of the head, your legs, your senses, you guys know, I know, we've been there before, it just takes your legs away. Your brain's telling you one thing, and your legs are doing another thing.
Now, Lopez keeps going to the rope, so obviously he's trying to draw now in and either catch him with a sucker punch, or he's hoping to wear himself down a little bit.
Well, interesting first round for sure, and we wasn't sure what Eric Omar Lopez was going to bring, or if he was going to bring anything. You know, he's not really won many in his last 20-odd contests. He's been very rare on getting victories, but he showed us a little bit more than that, Richie. I thought there was a dangerous sort of look around him there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got to try and just nullify what he's got here, and like I say, don't take any chances. Once you've landed the shot, get your hands back up nice and high, because if you're in at close quarters and you hold your feet against him, he's going to come back with something, and it's probably going to be a left hook or a right hook on the inside. So you've got to stay switched on when you're up close with him.
So it's all just about applying that pressure, Ray, but it's got to be educated, because you give Lopez something and he'll take it.
You just said it. You got to be you know, you got to control aggression.
Here we go, beginning of round 2. The first round, I just edged to Nyall Berry, but there was a dangerous look for sure coming from the Mexican, Eric Omar Lopez. And Nyall Berry, the English champion, has to stay switched on here.
Now keeps bending down, you know, getting down, you know, changing levels with him. As soon as he gets down there and throws his punches, he should got to move away. Don't want to stay down there.
Yep, can't get too greedy against someone like Lopez, who's using those ropes. Oh, there you go, there's the shot. He's loading up
on everything.
I tell you what, he's got to be careful here, Berry.
Yeah, just holding his feet a little bit too long, you see, on the inside. So, you know, I think he's got to concentrate more mid to long, use his jab, and just create a bit of a space and a gap. When you're up close against an explosive puncher like Lopez, you risk getting caught with just one punch. That's all Lopez is looking for. He tucks up, he waits for you to land 3 or 4 shots, and then he fires back with either right hand over the top or the left hook. And, you know, he's capable of either knocking you out or knocking you down. So you've got to be very careful against him indeed up close.
Yep, great.
He keeps going back to the ropes. I keep telling you, he's trying to draw Nyall in and catch you with something.
Yep, this is where Berry can't afford to get too greedy, Ray, can he? He's got to pot the shots and move away to keep that distance right.
And when he comes in, he's got to come in with behind the jab.
There you go, that's it.
That was better work for sure. Just out of range and then enough to come back in range.
Yes, exactly. In and out.
Now watch now, because as he's just throwing shots, something's going to come back. See, he's held his feet again, he's worked, but something will come back naturally. This kid, look, again, he comes back. You've got to have that instinct of either moving away or just lengthening the shot again with the jab and just create a bit of space.
He's very comfortable under pressure, isn't he, Lopez? He's very, you know, he's controlled, he's blocking the shots very well, defensively very, very sound.
He's just waiting for you to make the odd mistake and maybe misjudging the distance, falling in or holding the feet a little bit too long, and then that gives him an opportunity to land. Look, a shot again and again, but again Berry's just holding his feet, so it's a tricky fight, this. Look at that mid-range shot, lovely.
Yep, nailed that shot. The hook was brilliant, and again he landed the hook again there. Lopez falls for the first time to cover up, but comes back. Whoa, he's really going for it here, Lopez.
That's an example of how dangerous this guy is, because there was some lovely work there from Berry, but the way Lopez come back, Ray, with those shots, that was superb from Lopez at the end there.
Tell us something.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the action there in the second round. There's some good work on the inside, the short range stuff, but Lopez with that dangerous hook, that's what you boys have been talking about, the way he's sitting on the ropes. Look how composed he is on those ropes when he's covering up, and it's those shots that he throws on the inside. Now, Ray Mancini, you was talking about this earlier on in the night, how fighters are not taught now how to fight on the inside. Well, there you go. Eric Lopez, this kid can fight on the inside.
Fight on the inside, right. And he's hitting him on top of the head. Again, those are the punches that mess up your equilibrium. So both, you know, he's hit, he's just battering down at that point.
Seconds out, round 3.
Well, 2 rounds down. Nyall Berry may just have his nose in front, but I tell you something, Lopez is well in this fight.
That was better from Berry, that's nice. Just creating a bit of space there on the inside, that's good. Just don't get complacent, keep that guard up, get those punches back to the on-guard position very quickly once you've landed.
Yep, don't get greedy, because Lopez is trying to get him to take the bait. You can see him sitting on the ropes, waiting to come. That was good, he's not getting greedy, worked the shots well. And in a way,
so simple there, just using that jab there. Lopez was actually egging him to come forward, but he just used his brains, used the jab, and boxed at range. So simple.
Yep, threw it like a stabbing sort of motion, didn't he? He threw the shot just to knock his opponent off guard and, you know, pull himself back into punching range. It was very, very good stuff, that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I like the fact that, you know, both guys slipping and sliding, trying to draw each other in, but Nyall's keeping his composure. That's what he's got to do. Don't let this guy draw him into to a trap or anything. And now he is. He's keeping at the end of that jab, banging that body, stepping back.
Nice shot there on the inside. Just whipped that hook over Berry, but look at the answer there from Lopez. You just feel that this is where Lopez is really comfortable. This guy loves sitting on the ropes. He looks very, very comfortable there, doesn't he?
But they're both, you know, very smart in fighting. Both guys make any guy's miss, catching the punches. Neither one's hitting anybody with anything really solid. Very good fight. Very good inside.
There was a super body shot there from Lopez. That left hook to the body earlier was a cracking punch. He doesn't like it when Berry actually keeps it longer with that jab. That's the problem he's got. He's got to get around that shot. But because the jab just creates a bit more space for Berry, and he's just a little bit further away from Lopez. So Lopez would much prefer him just to stand and toe-to-toe. He'd like a telephone box type of contest, this Lopez would.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, you can see here Nyall Berry, how he's learned from that Francesco De Rosa loss, where he sat there, he got too greedy, sat in the pocket too long and got knocked out in the 8th round. He was taking unnecessary risks. And if he would have done the same here with this kid, he may have paid the price for that as well, because Lopez is very, very capable. Forget his record. This kid is much better than his record would suggest.
Yes, he is.
Oh, lovely again from Berry there. Works well, but just then lapse in concentration. All of a sudden, Berry's on the ropes and he gets caught with a good shot there.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's having to graft for this, Nyall Berry. That is for sure. As Lopez goes back to his corner, little smile there. And he's not even breathing, Richie. He's not even breathing at all. He's enjoying himself, Lopez.
Yes, he is indeed. And again, I think Berry just nicked the round for me. He just outworked Lopez. But you're watching Lopez every second of the round because he just springs the odd attack here and there, and the odd single shot. And he's always in it, isn't he? He's so dangerous.
Yes, you absolutely said it. He jumps into it. He jumps at you with the punches. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Berry, I think we're all in agreement here that Berry's maybe winning this contest. He's nicking the rounds, but
the close round.
It's a close rounds, man. They're very, very competitive. It's a good contest.
Round 4.
3 rounds down. We've got Nyall Berry just in front, but Eric Omar Lopez has come and he's delivered so far. What has he got going into the second half of this contest?
I think Lopez is being edged out in the rounds, the scoring. But if he just worked a little bit harder, who knows? I mean, they are close rounds anyway.
Yeah.
But he's always relying on Berry to come forward and to hold his feet and stand and trade. If he did a bit more offensive work himself, then who knows? But they are close rounds.
But he's starting to slow down.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, very slightly slowed down
he
now.
Can't keep up the pace, and that's what Nyall has to do. Keep up a pace this guy can't. Keep that pressure on him. Keep banging him. You'll eventually slow him down a lot more, and he'll open him up a lot more.
And this is where Berry's got to use his jab a little bit more now, and just create a bit of space and the gap between. See, because this is what. Look at Lopez here, because Berry's standing and trading, holding his feet. It's a toe-to-toe slugfest here now, really, and that for me actually favours Lopez, if anyone.
Yep, totally agree with that, Richie. I totally agree with that, mate. Both guys have rolled the dice here. They're starting to trade in this 4th round, but you suspect that Lopez is the more comfortable of the two when they're in there, and I don't like to see Nyall Berry doing that.
Just taking unnecessary risks for me, Nyall Berry, and you're bringing your opponent into it because you're fighting his fight. This is where he wants to box. He wants to box up close, wants you to hold your feet and trade with him. Well, that brings him right into it. So that's why these rounds are close. I want to see a bit of space between Berry and Lopez with that jab, a bit more of the lead hand work and set up your backhand. There you go, simple punch.
I'll tell you what, guys, when we're talking about developing as a fighter, you know, and you're doing your apprenticeship and you're getting that international experience, you're not going to get better than this, are you? For Berry, you go like, he's not having it easy, Ray. You know, he's got to stay switched on, and this is great preparation for when you want to move up.
Well, when he wins a world title, these are going to be the top fights he has all the time. And I'm going to tell you what, he's handling it so far so good. So far so good.
Good stabbing jab again there from Berry. Yeah. Oh, that was good uppercuts, and the Lopez just guilty of switching off a little bit there.
And that uppercut there is set up behind that jab, you see, just measuring the distance, then whipping that right uppercut through. Good double left hook there from Berry, body to head. So like I said, Lopez, he's just probably not working hard enough. He's trying to control what's coming at him, and then he's come back with the odd counters, but he's not working enough for me.
Yep, oh, run into a big right hand there. That stopped him in his tracks. That was the best shot of the contest so far from Nyall Berry. Maybe one of the better rounds there, Ray, as he goes back to the corner. And we look in Lopez's corner, and he's smiling. He's laughing.
Smiling, yeah. That punch that do not, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, it really is, but there's some of the great action in that 4th round. Nyall Berry had Lopez where he wanted him, working well, but here we see the character of Lopez coming back, Richie, as he always does. Dangerous, the young man this is.
Yeah, he's very dangerous indeed, very deceptive. You see him sitting on the ropes, you think, you know, you've got him with a couple of good shots, and then from nowhere, he just explodes into action. Very dangerous indeed. if he worked a little bit harder, these rounds would be even closer. They are close now, but I think Berry is winning most of them.
Yes.
Second test, round 5.
Brilliant contest here in the super bantamweight division. Nyall Berry, the English champion, having to dig deep against the tough Mexican Eric Omar Lopez. For us so far, Berry doing enough to be winning these rounds, but it's not been easy. He's certainly going to learn stuff from this. Joining me in the commentary position, Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Richie Woodall, and we are thoroughly enjoying tonight's boxing.
That's why I'm not saying a whole lot. I'm just enjoying this fight. They're both doing such good work on the inside, blocking, countering.
You just saw the water and the sweat that came off from Nyall Berry there because he got caught with a couple of good shots. Cracking contest again, and it's rare, quite rare that you see a fighter who's really comfortable sitting on the ropes. But Lopez is. He feels at home, back to the ropes, back to the wall type of thing. Here he is again, back to the ropes, and then he'll just explode into action. He's very comfortable on the ropes, and you don't see that very often from
Well, it goes back to what Ray Mancini was saying earlier, wasn't it? That you just don't get these fighters that like to sit in the pocket anymore, that are comfortable on the inside, comfortable on the ropes. You know, they're not taught that anymore because it's a different style of fighting. But Lopez is like that old school throwback.
Look at him here, the defensive work there on the ropes from Lopez. Just moving his shoulder, moving his head side to side, Ray. That was quality. That was quality defense.
Richie, the fact that he keeps sliding down, sliding down, I think he's starting to feel the fatigue or now Berry pressure.
Yeah.
Because if not, you just stay where you're at.
Yep, Berry now just starting to try and bully Lopez a bit, isn't he? Double left hook to the body there. He sort of felt the weight of that one.
Yeah, he did.
Less coming back here from Lopez.
And that's when you can tell he's slowing down a little bit because there is less coming back. But he's still dangerous.
Yes.
He can still land a shot, but that's better from Berry. Look at that for a left hook from Lopez. He's still dangerous, but there's less and less coming back.
Yep, and Berry senses that. He's trying to put his foot on the gas a little bit himself, but as you said, Richie, he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught by one of those wild shots. Brilliant contest we've got here.
Man, they're doing some good infighting, man. Moving her up and down, and just slipping and sliding.
Well, we spoke about it earlier about the quality of the infighting just isn't there in boxing these days.
No.
But in this contest, we're seeing some quality inside work, quality defence from Lopez. You know, and when he comes back with his shots, lovely, slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a real art. We spoke about this way, haven't we? Inside fighting, to avoid punches on the inside, man, that is difficult.
It is an art. It is an art, and it's a lost art because these guys are too, especially in America, when they come out of the amateurs, they take their amateur trainer with them, and instead they stay amateur.
Yeah.
The amateurs as pros. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Another quality round there.
Yes.
From both these guys, and here's some of the action with Lopez doing what he does so good, and that's fighting off the ropes. Nyall Berry covering up very well, defensively good, staying composed and putting a lot of pressure on Lopez as well.
Yeah, I think the majority of that round, Berry boxed really, really well, but towards the end, it just reminded you that Lopez is still in it and he's still dangerous. Because for most of the round, it was Berry. Berry was on top, but Lopez came back well there, Ray, didn't he, with some dangerous shots towards the end.
Oh, man, yes. No, they'll throw some bombs. It's just, again, well fought fight.
Corners, 10 seconds. Second out for the 6th and final round.
Well, what a contest we've had here in the super bantamweight division. Nyall Berry against tough Mexican Eric Omar Lopez. Berry doing enough in the rounds to win them, but what a contest it's been.
You know what, Spence? Just before the bell went for the last round, I was going to say, this is where Berry's just got to watch what he's doing now, because Lopez knows there's only one round now, and he's probably lost most of them. So he's thinking, well, it's all or nothing now, and this is where he's probably going to be at his most dangerous, Lopez.
Yep, that's a very good good shout, that Rashid Lopez. One thing he does bring is a wealth of experience. He'll know he's in the other guy's backyard. He's not going to get any favours, and he's actually probably losing these rounds anyway. You go, that makes you a dangerous man.
It looks like he's holding back, looking to explode for the last minute or minute and a half of the round.
Ray Mancini, you know, don't you? You can see it. You go, you know exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, he's waiting to let now try to get tired, and he's going to go all out probably.
Hasn't thrown a shot for about good 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just waiting. Look,
there you go.
one. If that connected, that might have been a different story, but he's just waiting for his opportunity here.
Yep, he is. And again, he's thrown it. He's dangerous with that chopping right hand, clubbing right hand.
Yeah.
Them shots that they come from a funny angle. You don't see them.
Exactly.
Oh, big shot downstairs from Lopez. Good left hook. He took it well though, Berry. Fair play. Didn't flinch at all there.
He's a tough kid, Berry, that's for sure. And good work, working the body and head so well. Lopez looking to go with him.
That's all I like to see. You see, setting things up there behind the jab. Nyall Berry, sensible approach, working with the jab before he lets the backhand go.
Yep, that's solid. It's like a spearing shot, isn't it? He stabs it out, the jab. Very effective when he does that. But this is good work from Lopez here.
Lopez again, just last throw of the dice. We're into the last minute now. And again, he's still dangerous. He's still in it. Is that for? Is that back of the head?
Yep, I think he's just going to give him a stern telling off there. It's that chopping shot that we were talking about. If I'm honest, you know, it's the fight game. You know, you're throwing the shot. It's
6-1.
That's what happens. Just let it go.
Exactly, especially last round.
Good work from both guys again. This is a real top quality contest, this. We're seeing a little bit of everything. Two quality operators.
Now he's getting everything he wants in this. He's getting in this 6 rounds.
Yep, this is great preparation, Ray, isn't it? You're talking about, you said when you saw a young Nyall Berry that you thought he had the ability to go on and win world titles. That's his dream. That's what he's chasing. And that is the great international experience, Richie, that he needed. You know, you're looking at that and you go, they're the opponents that you need to give you them the foundations.
Yeah, a real good workout for him there, because it's a different type of contest to what he normally is up against. He had to be switched on every second of every round there. Quality work on the inside from both boxers.
Yes.
And he couldn't afford just to hold his feet and just admire his work. Lopez always dangerous on the ropes, very comfortable, just sitting back, waiting for his opportunity, waiting for a single shot, and then he would explode into action. Caught Nyall Berry with some real good punches. I thought decent power for him as well. And for me, Ray, Nyall Berry had to keep thinking throughout the whole of that contest, which will obviously benefit him.
Oh no, absolutely. If he just got careless, or what sleep on one moment, he would have got caught.
Yeah.
Because this guy was firing punches from all angles, on all cylinders.
Yeah, super workout.
Terrific fight. To referee Ryan Churchill's scorecard is called this contest 59 points to 55 in favour of your winner, Non-Stop Nyall.
Some more action here with Nyall Berry versus Omar Lopez. Action-packed contest indeed. Nyall Berry had to work every second of every round, and his opponent Lopez was in there every step of the way. Very dangerous indeed. A good 6-round workout indeed. He'll learn a lot from this, will Berry, and he'll hopefully go on and fight obviously for much bigger, contests and fight for bigger titles. But this was a great learning fight for him. He could never switch off in against a very dangerous opponent indeed. and that was a great workout and a good contest and a good learning contest for him.
Showed me that, you know, there's some guys who they ain't going anywhere like that. That's probably my toughest, not toughest fight, but the toughest guy that I have fought. So yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? We were in the commentary position there, myself, Richie Woodall and Ray Mancini, and we say, this kid's dangerous, man. He's sitting there, and if you get too greedy, he's going to take his opportunity. But you worked it out, you learned from the De Rosa loss, and I said sometimes that's a moulding of a fighter, and that's where you seem to have improved.
Yeah, yeah, listen, since that loss, the amount of stuff I've worked on is crazy, and I still feel like I've got such a long way to go, but in a way, it was a blessing in disguise, because I feel like if I won, I would have just carried on papering over the cracks. Like, even in there, like, before I would have just gone steaming ahead, but now I'm trying to use my brain more, so sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. You can only quit or keep pushing forward.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what you've done. You've had 4 wins now on the bounce since that defeat, and you put yourself in a great position. Currently ranked number 3 in Britain. What is that next move for you? Is that what you want? You want the British title and do it the old traditional way, British, Commonwealth, European, world?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not. I just want any titles to go forward. I've said that we want to move down to Bantam. I can make it. I mean, I came in feather on the same. I had the same day weighing today, and do you want me to be honest? I made it easy, man. I made it easy, so that's just the proof's in the pudding if you put the work in. With my English title fight, I came in 120, so the plan is to move down to Bantam, but yeah, we'll see whatever comes our way.
Well, listen, there's opportunity there if you do make bantamweight, but as super bantamweight, you are making your presence felt for sure, mate. And tonight was a great performance. It's all about developing, all about learning, and you got them rounds, valuable rounds in the bank.
It was definitely valuable rounds. Like, it showed that I have to talk up, use my brain. Like I said before, I would not have done that. Before, I would have just went in, swinging, gung-ho, and trying to use my boxing brain, so yeah.
And we saw that, mate. We saw you working the jab, stabbing the jab a lot, you know, not sitting there, not getting too greedy, and you won tonight and you put in a brilliant performance. Nyall Berry, congratulations, my friend. Well done, mate, well done, man.
Ladies and gentlemen of Canada, it is now time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant Super Lightweight Midlands Area Championship. Making his way to the ring, the first of tonight's challengers, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Joe Underwood Hughes.
Big opportunity here for Joe Underwood Hughes. The Midlands area super lightweight title is on the line. Hughes will start this one as the underdog. He's been in with some good fighters, fighting out of Nottingham. He's won his last 2. Lost to hot prospect Cameron Bong. That was in points. On points, sorry, back in September. So no shame in that. He put up a good performance, showed a lot of character in there. And one thing we do know about Hughes, he's a tough kid. And he's going to have to be tonight because he's in against a very, very tough opponent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the second of tonight's challengers for this vacant title. Making his way to the red corner, please welcome the Nepalese warrior,
Minaz Gurung, originally from Nepal, now living in Nuneaton. Lot of talk about this kid. Only 23 years of age. I got a chance to catch up with him earlier on. Super, super confident. And he really fancies this. Only had 5 contests, all by victory, one of them inside the distance. And now finds himself in a 10-rounder. His last fight against Stefan Vincent, he won that one in the 4th round. That was a KO. That was at the Holiday Inn Birmingham Airport. And he'll be looking to do a similar thing here against a very tough Joe Underwood Hughes.
I got sexy bitches flexing, yeah. I just walked and stepped up, dressed up, brushed off, quickly stepped in. In a sexy chicken, I guess that's when she met him. Putting that loud, with that cloud. Niggas too greasy, running that down, man. Coming out foul, play, man, standing up now. Man, the old kicks his children, they run with that style. Show more drink, the niggas run with that out. Yeah, I run up that crowd, run up and blow. I got niggas that's really crazy, cause they don't round. Niggas don't be running that cow. Coming up wild, coming up wild. Talking about that real trap shit, I'm moving that doors. I'm moving that sauce. Coming that crown. Yeah, that's the thing. Coming that pound.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing of the vacant Super Lightweight Midlands Area Championship. This is all brought to you courtesy of Scott Murray's Excelsior Promotions in association with John Pegg. This championship contest is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your steward in charge, Matt Harris. Area representatives, Kenny Basford and Tony Hedges. Your timekeeper on the bell is Martin Fallon. And your referee in charge of this bout, scoring referee, Chris Dean. Alright fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant Super Lightweight Midlands Area Championship. Ladies and gentlemen of Canada, are you ready? I said, are you ready? Let's go! Introducing to you first on my left tonight, he fights out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black, trimmed with gold. He weighed in officially at 9 stone, 13 pound, 9 ounces. His professional record stands at 14 fights, 10 wins, 4 losses with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he joins us tonight from Nottingham. Please welcome the first of tonight's challengers, Joe Underwood. His opponent opponent across the ring tonight, your second challenger for this championship contest. He fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at already 9 stone, 12 pound, 8 ounces, and is undefeated thus far in his professional campaign with a record of 5 fights, 5 wins, no losses, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he fights out of Nuneaton, Warwickshire, by way of his homeland, Pahara, Nepal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to let loose the Nepalese warrior, Milas. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the vacant Super Lightweight Midlands Area Championship. Your referee in charge to give instructions, scoring referee Chris D.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. I want to see a good, clean fight.
Well, as a referee pulls both guys together for their final instructions, this is our final contest of the evening, and it's a Midlands area super lightweight contest. Minaz Gurung versus Joe Hughes.
For the first round,
Gurung having only his 6th contest and stepping up to 10 rounds against the seasoned Joe Hughes. Interesting, this one, Richie.
Yeah, it is, and it is a big step up for Gurung, there's no doubt about that. He's 5-0 with only 1 knockout, but to go up to, what, 10 rounds this one is. And yeah, that is a big step up. He will have done the sparring most certainly, and he's been prepared. I think he's managed by Johnny Pegg. He knows his stuff, John, and I spoke to him earlier. He says, listen, he's a really good kid and he's ready for it. So let's wait and see.
Yep, they do praise Gurung, Ray. You know, they've got high hopes for this kid, and they don't seem to be holding him back at all, putting him into title fights in only his 6th fight. Shows the confidence they've got in him.
Well, yeah, that's good to have confidence in the 5 fights. I don't think you have an extensive amateur career or not. The pro game's the hurting game. It's not the, so, you know, obviously they know something I don't know, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Not at 5 fights.
Yep, I suppose the problem you've got is not that they're not confident he wins the fight, but once he wins it, you can't go back from there. You can only go forward to you're in 10 rounders, 12 rounders.
Well, that's it. That's fine. If you once you get 10, you don't want to go back. But you got to, you go to 6, 8, 10, 6, 8, 10. You want to keep getting the proper amount of rounds. But if they feel confident enough, then I gotta believe in them and believe in the team.
Yeah, it is a big step. There's no question, because I mean, it's not as if he's going in with an opponent who's never been 10 rounds himself. And that would be different, wouldn't it? If they both haven't been 10 rounds, then it's more of a calculated risk. But Joe Hughes, he has been the 10 rounds distance before, so he's had that experience. He lost it to Albano Jr. Back in 2024 last year. So he has the crucial experience of going over 10 rounds, which could be the difference here. But let's wait and see. Like I said, they speak highly of Gurung. He has got some decent skills. He's on the receiving end here, and this is a good attack from Joe Underwood Hughes.
Joe Hughes just hit him with an uppercut underneath the heart. And those punches, man, they stop you, guy. They stop you.
Yep, there's a strong look around Joe Hughes, isn't there? He's not phased at all. He's come here and he's come as the underdog, but I tell you what, he's performing so far.
Look, I don't think he believes he's the underdog, obviously. And he's fighting a heck of a fight so far.
Yeah, he is, and maybe doing enough to win this round. He's landed some good shots to head and body.
Working well behind his lead hand, Hughes. Whereas I think it's been a bit of a scouting mission, if anything, for Gurung. And if anything, he's just come off second best there. So it's not a bad round there for Joe Hughes.
Yep, I'm with you, Richie. I think that Joe Hughes, surprised Gurung there, because he come out, he held his ground. Let's take a look at some of the action in that first round. He held his ground well. Ray pointed out, he threw some good shots to the body as well. Shot selection was quite impressive. And more importantly, it was about not giving up the ground there, like stamping his authority and saying, listen, mate, I got the experience, I'm here. You got to go and win this from me. And he done a good job of that, Ray.
I gave him the round. I thought he held the round. Even when he got hit, he come back with something. He always finished with something.
I think Gurung as well, his guard was a little bit leaky in that first round. He was probably a little bit too relaxed. If anything.
Would he be guilty of being slightly overconfident going in there, and then that was that little wake-up call where you go, hold a minute, because Ray pointed it out, you go, hold a minute, you've barely scratched the surface here, now you're in fighting for titles, you go, this is the hurt game, this is the tough game.
The hurting game, man. And plus, I think he's, Glenn, you could see he's a high-energy guy. You could see he's a very good fighter, but he's a little too open with his punches, a little too open with his guard. You know, he's easy to come back and counter him. You throw a punch, he's easy to counter it because his hands are wide.
Well, I think if that first round was a bit of a skating mission,
that's better work there from Gurung. No switch, he attacked well to the body.
This is better from him now. He's come out and obviously had a roasting in that corner because he looks more on the ball at the start of this round, Gurung.
There's the answer again from Hughes, though. He's don't try and take any liberties, son, because I'm still very much in this.
That's the shot I like from Gurung. It's a straight right hand to the body. There it is again. It's a super punch. Gets go. What's happening here is he's landing some good shots downstairs, but he's coming back up with his guard down.
Exactly.
And then he gets caught on the way out. He's got to be a little bit sharper, Ray, with the guard, getting those hands back high after he's delivered.
First thing is, I was thinking to myself, guard's down and head up. He's not even bending his knees. If you're going to come with your hands down, bend your knees and be bobbing and weaving. He's coming with his hands down and his chin up in the air.
Yep, he's too relaxed as he's coming out. As you guys say, he's throwing the shots, getting a little greedy, and then coming out in straight lines. And this is where the good work is. But now he's got to be careful, because this is where Hughes comes back. He'll come back with his hands low, a little bit switched off, and he'll pay the price. But this is good work here from Gurung.
Yeah, good attack there from Gurung, sustained pressure, but there's an example again. So he just lands a shot, his hands are too low, he gets caught with a lovely right-hand counter there from Hughes. But it's warming up now, isn't it? And it's certainly a better performance in this round from Gurung.
You know, I spoke with him earlier before the fight, and what a just personable young man, and I was very impressed by him. Yeah, and I'm impressed by his confidence more than anything.
Yep, two big shots there from Hughes, though. Again, a little reminder to say stay switched on. You got to remember, after doing your work, your opponent is going to come back with something. That's what happens.
Yes.
And he's guilty of switching off and just sitting there a little too long at the moment, Gurung. Yep, I agree with you boys. I think he's done enough in this second round. He's had a better round. He's had a stern telling off, obviously, in the corner. But look at the finish here from Hughes, though.
Yeah, it's important now for Gurung to end the round on top, because again he's coming back into it, Hughes, and sometimes the judges forget that word that you've done earlier on in the round. If your opponent nicks the last 30 seconds, it could be crucial.
Yeah, and he did have a better 30 seconds there, Hughes, but I think Gurung done enough in the round to steal the round. But Hughes come back very well. Let's take a look at some of the action in that second round. And there we see it, Rich, here. Little seesaw action, swinging one way, then the other.
Yeah, there's that right hand to the body from Gurung. It's a lovely shot, well timed. Just dips his knees and just scores with it. But he walks forward with his hands very low indeed. So he's there to be it himself.
Yes, that's going to be a problem, Chief, as he steps up.
Yeah, absolutely. So he'll have to tighten up. But it was a better Gurung in that round, most certainly.
Yep, you just feel that there's a few more twists and turns to come in this contest for sure. And I think it could be a long night for both of these guys. And as you both know, because you've both been there before, when the physicalities leave you and it becomes a psychological battle, and you've not been there before, then it's tough.
Seconds out, round 3.
You know, because getting into those penultimate rounds, when the fatigue sets in, it becomes a mental battle. And that's when you find out the character of a fighter.
So similar pattern to the last round, Spence. Gurung starting nice and sharply on the offensive, and he has a lot of natural talent, you can tell that. But I think he's probably done a lot of sparring and the people he's been boxing, he's probably been getting away with the shots that he's thrown, and then he's having his hands low, but he's not getting away with it here.
Well, look at this work from Hughes here. He's getting through with some good shots, and Gurung for the first time looks unsettled, and now he's got to start digging deep.
I love the fact, I love it. Look at it. He wants that war. He wants to make it a battle.
Yeah.
You gotta love that about the kid.
Do you know what though, Ray? This is self-inflicted because he started the round really well, Gurung, but he just gets caught because his hands are too low. He gets a little bit too complacent. He's been caught there, and that, like I say, it's self-inflicted because your hands are low. It's like going into the rain without your umbrella. You're going to get wet.
Well, could you imagine fighting a guy like Eric Omar Lopez?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't imagine it.
With his hands down like that. See, that's what I'm saying. You never know.
Yep.
I know you'll be able to adjust and adapt during the fight, but
good left hook.
Yeah, out of nowhere he landed that, and the legs just seem to do a dance. Gurung is opening up, but he's got to be careful himself here because we know Hughes.
He's still not recovered. He should.
No, he's not.
Here, Gurung should.
The legs are still very, very shaky here of Hughes.
I think Gurung is a little spent.
Yeah.
Everything was a power punch. Everything was a power punch.
Do you know what, Ray? A little bit of a lack of experience there, wasn't
exactly.
it?
Because that's okay. They'll learn. They'll learn to set things up.
It was the left hook that did the damage. A cracking shot from Gurung.
I tell you what though, Hughes wants this, doesn't he? Look, he's straight back into the driving seat, straight back on the saddle, and he's going for it here himself, Hughes.
Yeah. You got him in the corner, do something. Keep him there. You got to try to keep him there.
I'll tell you what, lads, Hughes, he's just got to watch it. He keeps dropping his right hand, he's just above me, and he walks forward, his right hand is very low. He's got to watch out for the left hook from Gurung. That was the shot earlier on in the round. And if you watch him as he walks forward, just drops the right hand ever so slightly. Look, he's just open to a left hook from Gurung. He's got to watch what he's doing.
Yep, nice work from the jab there from Hughes though. That was good work. Great cracking little contest this. Good
combinations. Good combinations.
Great response from Hughes there.
Yeah, it really was. Both guys already starting to bite down a little bit here.
Yes.
And another good round of boxing. Again, no one's really stamped their authority in this contest. Gurung's had his success, and so has Hughes. And this fight is still very much to be won and lost here. Great action again, Richie.
Yeah, that was a really close round, wasn't it? Because at one point, then Gurung caught Hughes with a cracking left hook, and it looked like Hughes was going to go over, but he kept going. Let's have a look at it here. Just looking on the monitor. There it is. It's just a short little punch. It must have been on the temple, more around the temple area, or just high, and it really scrambled the senses of Hughes. But he did recover, and he came back towards the end, and he looked like the man on top. So, what a cracking round of boxing that was.
Yep, just goes to show you, Richie, the shot lands in the right place. Like you say, it was no more than a sort of jab, really. And you saw it was that delayed reaction where, you got the ringing going on in your ears, and your legs are doing a little dance, and you've just got that 2 or 3 seconds where you've got to pull yourself together. And to his credit, he done that, Hughes.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you just got to stop, not do is go back in a straight line. You don't want to back up. You're going to move away from them, move in circles.
Yep, that's exactly right. The guy that moves in straight lines here could be in trouble because the attacks are quite heavy from both guys.
He's moving a straight line, and blind man can hit you.
That's good work there from Gurung to head and body. He's picking his shots well.
I love his energy.
I think he's always going to be in exciting fights, isn't he, Gurung, the way he boxes. He's got a lot of talent, and I say that because he's open himself. And even Hughes here just turned into southpaw, so that's showing his confidence, Hughes. But Gurung, yeah, very talented indeed, but wide open occasionally. And that's why, like I say, he'll always be in exciting fights because he's there to be hit himself.
Well, that air of vulnerability makes you excited. It puts bums on seats because people go, well, the kid loves to come and have a fight, but there's that vulnerability around him as well.
That's what you want to do. You want a guy who's going to put it all on the line every fight. And you never know what's going to happen. That's what makes it exciting. And people will pay for that.
Keeps switching from orthodox to southpaw, does Hughes. Got to watch that. You don't want those feet to cross going forward in case he gets caught. Got to cross the feet going backwards if he's going to keep switching.
Well, it goes back to what Ray was saying earlier. Why switch to southpaw if you're not having success? And he switched to southpaw and he's been nailed with two big right hands because he's not comfortable in that position.
No. And it's dumb to do it in the middle of the fight.
Oh, that was a lovely lead uppercut there from Hughes.
Oh, big shots again there from Hughes.
Yeah, tremendous. Cracking lead uppercut and the jab again from Hughes. This is a better spell for him.
Yep, really is. See, this is where he's vulnerable, Gurung. When he comes forward, he sits in the pocket a little bit and he throws those shots wide and he's open to those short counters through the middle.
I think the last minute of the round he's really vulnerable. He starts the round, there's a pattern to his boxing, starts the round really quick, just comes off the stall, he's nice and sharp, but towards the end of the round he's a little bit more, the fatigue sets in and he's vulnerable at the end there.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a fight.
It really is. I mean, 4 rounds in, I've got it 2 rounds apiece at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
Gurung has had his moments, Hughes has had his moments, and Richie Woodall, you're right in what you say. Gurung starts the rounds well, but then that air of vulnerability comes in. He sits there too long, the hands are down, and Hughes nails him with 3 or 4 big shots that pulls him right back into the round.
Yeah, he's just far too relaxed for me, and he's got a very leaky defence, and it's more exposed when he's tired towards the end of the round. That's his problem. At the start, he's nice and sharp, he's quick, but as the round wears on, the fatigue sets in. Remember, he's not that experienced either, and towards the end of the round, he just naturally tires, and that's when he's getting caught more often.
Corners at 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 5.
Entering the 5th round, 4 rounds down. I think we've got this 2 rounds apiece. It could be that close at the moment. No one really taking control of this contest, and you just feel that there's still a long way to go for both guys here. One thing we do know is they're both going to have to show a lot of character here.
What I like about Gurung that he's got his hands up high. Yeah. He's coming in, bobbing and weaving, making a miss.
Yeah, nice and sharp. Hughes there was just guilty of throwing a sloppy jab out into that corner. Just throwed the jab a little bit slow, and Gurung, we said he's most dangerous at the start of the round. Very quick with the counter there, very sharp right hand. So yeah, again, the same, similar pattern. Gurung on that front foot coming forward, dangerous. But we know that Hughes comes back into it.
Good shot, short right hand there from Hughes, but Gurung for working the body well as well. You just feel here, guys, that one guy will crack at some point, and I don't know what that guy is at the moment. You know, they're both holding it together at the moment.
2 good right hands off the top of the round.
But the pace continues like this. The shot output and the consistency of the shots landing, you go, surely we can't hear the final bell.
Right.
You always seem to be looking at Gurung for that little bit of flair, and you know, the odd eye-catching shot. I think Hughes is a little bit more basic, but nevertheless, he's a good straight puncher. Doesn't do nothing spectacular, but he just does it nice and basic, and he does, you know, the fundamentals right, nice straight shots, and he's effective with it.
But it looks like his punch should command respect. You know, like you say, he's not a big puncher, but he punches with enough authority to go, show me that respect.
Why did he switch to southpaw again?
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't know.
It's not working for him. Stick to the right hand.
Yeah.
Stick to the orthodox.
This is where he's going to be.
It's getting nailed when he goes southpaw. Look, right hand every time, and this is where Nurog is having his moment here because he's stupidly switched to southpaw.
And that's when There's someone behind me saying finish on the hook, so whoever that is, he spotted.
Oh, big left hook.
There it is. There it is, Flex.
4, 5, there it is, that left hook that we've been speaking about.
7, 8. He's in desperate trouble here, guys. You just sense it, one good shot. And that was stupid, switching to southpaw caused all that problem.
He's doing it again. He'll stop the fight if you don't fire something back. You better give something back.
He's desperate here.
Yeah, he really is. Referee's taking a close look. The body shots are going in. He's covering up.
Oh,
but the referee's moments away here.
Oh, how did he survive that? Incredible end to the round.
And he waves to the crowd, salutes to the crowd. What a crowd we've got here as well. Wow, that was out of nowhere. Stupidly, he switched to southpaw. Why he done that? He done it earlier on in the contest, didn't get success. He done it again, Hughes, and got nailed with the right hand. Not once, not twice, 3 times, followed by the left hook, and found himself on the seat of his pants. If that's not a lesson learned, then I don't know what is. Stay orthodox, or that's what happens.
I mean, incredible. We spoke about the left hook most of the night, that he's vulnerable to it. And you're even more vulnerable as a southpaw. If the orthodox boxer is close up to you, you're open to that left hook, Ray. And it was a crack, it was a peach of a punch.
No, he got caught with a heck of a hook. Very good. I don't know if it would have been orthodox or not. That punch would have might have knocked.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Orthodox or southpaw.
Well, here we go.
About it with the left hook.
Halfway mark, and it's been an entertaining 5 rounds for sure, but that was a huge round for Gurung there. Oh, big right hand again. And I tell you what, he's going to struggle here, Hughes. The referee has called it off. A shot out of nowhere.
Well, what a peach of a punch that was. Absolute quality. We've spoke about it, how dangerous that Gurung is at the start of the round, Spence and Ray. How dangerous is he? And he just produced the best right hand of the contest. Bang on the button. Cracking shot indeed.
Yeah, beautiful shot there. Out of nowhere, and it all started, Ray, and you've talked about this all night with these kids that are switching southpaw, and they don't really know why they're doing it, because they're not getting success in doing that. There you go. That is, for any young fighter that's watching this tonight, you go, take note from that, take the blueprint from that. He switched to southpaw, got himself in a heck of trouble, and that effectively ended the fight.
He's orthodox here, but earlier, the last fight, boom. It's a lazy jab.
Lazy jab, right
hand, right over the top.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is because he switched to southpaw in the round before, that's why he was in desperate trouble. The minute was obviously clearly not enough, Richie.
It wasn't.
And his head hadn't cleared, and he got nailed.
He got nailed. He throws a very sloppy jab and gets caught with a tremendous right hand. He probably confused himself a little bit, the way he kept switching from orthodox to southpaw. He's probably more vulnerable as the southpaw anyway. But he's been caught with a big left hook the round before. I don't think the minute was enough to recover. And then he throws a sloppy jab at the start of this round. And we know that Gurung is always quicker at the start of the round. And he's produced probably the best right hand of the contest. Bang on the button. The timing was absolutely perfect. Speed, power, precision. And he's put his man, he's knocked him out. Ray, that was a great right hand.
That was right over the top. Very well timed. You know, bobbing and weaving, boom, timed it right over the top. Terrific punch, terrific punch.
Yeah, great punch indeed. And what's made this such a good contest, Ray, is that Gurung himself was vulnerable and got caught. And at times Hughes looked like he may have surprised everyone with his punch output, because he at one point he was just going forward and he was catching Gurung with some cracking shots. That's what made it such an exciting contest.
Yeah, no, the middle rounds, you know, the middle rounds, I gave it to them, and they were a great fight. I mean, they were great rounds on both ends.
Yeah, tremendous. So we spoke about it, didn't we? We think that he'll always be an exciting contest because he's probably a little bit open himself, but that's what makes it exciting.
Exactly.
He gets caught with good shots.
That's why promoters are going to want to put him on the show.
Yeah.
It's an exciting fight.
He's probably prepared to take a shot. to land one, and when he lands them,
yes,
he's got that knockout power in both hands. I mean, he's produced big left hooks tonight, and the right hands especially. I mean, what a cracking and entertaining contest, and what a good fighter he is. And Ray, Hughes played his part though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
You know, he's a good fighter, Hughes there. And just look at him just above us now. He's very, very disappointed. You know, he thinks he could have gone on, but it was a good shot, wasn't it? And it was probably the right call from the referee.
Yeah, it was. At that time it was. Yes, it was. He was hurt. He's still hurt.
Yeah, he's just a little bit upset with it. But yeah, he embraces his opponent now. That's nice to see. That's nice to see.
They both hurt each other during that fight.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the decision of this contest, your referee in charge would like to congratulate both boxers. That was a fantastic championship contest. Huge round of applause to these warriors, please. The end to this contest comes 17 seconds into round number 6. Your winner of this contest by way of TKO from the Neaton, Warwickshire, by way of Pakar and Nepal. He is now the new super lightweight Midlands area champion,
Well, Minaz, what a performance. How does it feel? And the new.
Words can't describe it, man. Like I said, I knew this was destined to be, and hey, I'm here right now. Not only just won by points, I knocked him out. That's the main thing. Do you know what I mean? He's not been dropped, so I dropped him, made a statement, and the new Midlands champ. Super lightweight, man. I'm coming for everyone in that division.
Listen, you showed a lot of confidence there, you know, going in only a 6th contest to be boxing in a 10th round. It shows me confidence in yourself, self-belief, and also in your corner.
Absolutely, you know, I got a good team behind me, man. I got a believing family that support me, you know. Oh, man, I'm ready to take on the world, but you know what I mean? But, hey, yo, we got to train hard for it, and anything's possible.
Listen, what did you learn from that contest? Because there was rounds there, it was swinging from back and forth all the time. You was guilty of switching off a lot, sitting there and trying to get too greedy and getting caught with some shots as well.
Main thing is, just got to open my ears, listen to my coaches, and not get full of myself, you know, not get carried away, which can be hard, do you know what I mean? Because I know I got the power, but then again, it's the IQ in boxing. That's what's going to take me places, having the IQ, do you know what I mean? Anyone can have power, but not the IQ.
So listen, the Midlands area, super lightweight champion, that's a great thing. Obviously, next step, you're going to be chasing English, Commonwealth, British, European. You know, what's the dream for you?
Dream is everything, man. Do you know what I mean? Anyone, anything, just to be the top, you know?
That first belt feels good though, don't it?
I mean, it's a stepping stone. Do you know what I mean? I'd want something more green.
No, mate, trust me, mate, I won an area title, my first title, and you go, that opens up a whole world of opportunity and improves you as a fighter.
Can't wait to take it back home to my mum and show her, look. Do you know what I mean? Because
She don't care about boxing.
Well, listen, mate, I don't want to get in trouble with your mum, so I won't keep you here any longer. Tonight is yours. Miraz, your wicked performance, man, and a great fight. Well done.
From Nepal, boxing out, Boxing Clever Academy. Get to know me, man.
Give a little message to the talkSPORT boxing viewers there about what that meant to you.
Everything, man. Thank you guys for staying in tune. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Instagram, #1 Minaz, MINAAZ. So follow me, stay in tune for my journey, man. God bless.
And God bless you, mate. Tonight's yours. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much, guys.
Brilliant, brilliant, mate.
Appreciate you.
Well, what a performance there from Minaz Gurung. He showed a lot of character, answered a lot of questions for sure, and there was the brilliant finish. It all started from that left hook, and then going into that final round, that right hand, and Joe Underwood Hughes was never going to continue after that. What a performance. Picks up his first title. That is the Midlands area super lightweight title. What a night of boxing we've had here from the Chase Leisure Centre in Cannock, Staffordshire. From myself, Spencer Oliver, him, Richie Woodall, and the one and only Ray Boom Boom Mancini. That's good night from us.